And good afternoon and welcome into Cornersville, Tennessee as we get set for the battle of the North and the South. The 1-0 Forrest Rockets taking on the 0-1 Bulldogs of Cornersville. And Ricky, probably the two most useless sentences I will utter is, giving the records, because again, this one you can just throw the records out the window.
It never has mattered. It won't matter tomorrow, 10 years from now, 100 years from now. Records don't matter when you say the Rockets and the Bulldogs. So we're here tonight in Cornersville. We're glad you folks are listening on and watching tonight on tcsports1.com. Thanks for joining in.
Yes, thanks for joining in. And we are going to go ahead and say if we hold out for this whole game, we will have nothing to say about our ability. It is just strictly that the good Lord has blessed us tonight and allowed us to stay on. Not the ideal broadcasting conditions, but hey, do what we got to do.
And that's exactly right. God is good and allowed us to be on here tonight. We thank Him for that, and thank you for your ability. And
we thought for a while we weren't going to get on, so hey, it's been good. We had a few showers here early. That set us behind a little bit, and then of course had some challenges getting signal here. So right now we seem to have found a sweet spot. Let's just hope it stays that way for the rest of the evening, Ricky.
Absolutely. And we got Sharon with the camera tonight. Glad to have her back. Sharon, appreciate you being with us as well.
Thank you.
Man, awful good to have a friendly face here.
It sure is.
It has been a wonderful experience, and we'll have the students taking over next week. Sharon's been gracious enough to fill in for us for a couple of weeks and let them do a little on-the-job training. Gabe Hall, I think, will be handling our film duties next week in Loretta. And, of course, Peter Wilson did a wonderful job last week. He will be with us running our graphics and our scoreboard and the computer tonight. So we've got a chance to get to know some young folks, and we've enjoyed that, Ricky.
Yeah, they're great to have along, and nothing but good stuff expecting out of them, freshmen. So we're going to have them for maybe 4 years if they're good enough to stay with us.
Yes, we definitely hope so. We have definitely enjoyed the breath of fresh air. Those young guys are great to have around, and we certainly appreciate all that they have done for us here early in the season, and we look forward to them growing with us as our second broadcast.
I'm looking forward to it, and couldn't be in a better spot. Cornersville and Chapel Hill tonight. There's going to be a big crowd here tonight, and ones that can't make it, we're glad you're joining us on the broadcast here tonight.
Ricky, the one thing we talked about last week, a monster crowd for a season opener. Eagleville brought a ton of folks over. The Forest side was full. There were people on the fences. It was just a wonderful atmosphere. Cheerleaders, band, that is what Small Town Friday night is about, and it was a wonderful atmosphere last week, and what made it that much better was the Rockets came back and scored the last 24 to win it 55-24.
And when you keep winning and your tradition of winning grows and grows and grows, everybody wants to go be gunning for you. So all our neighbors, our friendly rivals, as I like to call them, they're all coming. They're going to be gunning for us all year long.
Most definitely. And with that being said, we'll tell you, not a whole lot for the Rockets. Not hard to get them up for this one. Not only the natural rivalry, but, of course, Cornersville came to Chapel Hill last year and was able to sneak out of Chapel Hill with a big win. And that, of course, helped them do a great season and gave them bragging rights for a year that the Rockets are looking to take back here tonight.
I hope some of these guys still got that taste in their mouth and they want to get rid of it tonight. So we'll see what happens when the opening kickoff happens.
Most definitely. We want to thank you for tuning in here this evening, and we want to thank our fine sponsors for helping us make this broadcast possible. We'll take a commercial break, hear from a couple of those, and we'll return here to Cornersville after this.
Oh, no, what I would do without you to show me the way and the truth. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you. If I didn't have you.
Your local agents, Scott Bond and Troy Cashin. Are you moving to the area and need a place to store your possessions? Are you trying to declutter your existing space or needing a place to park your boat, RV, truck, trailer, or camper? There's a simple solution. It's Highway 99 Storage. Conveniently located off Highway 99 and James King Road, it's a lighted, secure, and fenced-in area to keep your valuables safe. New units available with climate control. Call 364-5678 to rent. That's Highway 99 Storage.
We return here to Cornersville. It is now a sunny afternoon here in Cornersville. We, of course, had the showers coming through around 4:30, 5 o'clock this afternoon, and that, of course, gave us a little pause, but sunshine now, bright in the sky. Looks like the rain has passed, and we should be set for what should be a really fine football game here tonight between the Rockets and the Bulldogs.
Certainly does. Blue sky all around, and big victory last week. Rockets 55-24 over Eagleville. Bulldogs went down to Richland. I think it was 31-20. So Cornersville's got a little something to think about to get back on their winning ways. The Rockets continue right where they left off from last year, making the playoffs. Went a little bit deep in the playoffs, I thought, pretty well, and just want to even more want to improve on that as well.
Ricky, let's talk a little bit about Cornersville. They, of course, as we said, came in. This rivalry got renewed. They hadn't played for an awful long time. They took the big win last year, and really you expected them to come out this year. They were the favorite over Richland, but kind of stubbed their toe a little bit in the second half. And, unofficially, a lot of folks that I talked to this week said depth was going to be a key issue for Cornersville, that they just ran out of gas in the second half against Richland.
Yeah, depth will hurt you, and Richland and Cornersville real close together, so you know the folks at Richland feel just like the folks at Chapel Hill about Cornersville. They want to go in here and beat them. So Richland got it done last week, and Cornersville, they got to have to put on their thinking caps to rebound after that.
You know, and they've got a great couple of guys to hang their hats on. You know, you talk about Ben Franklin. He had 120 yards last week on 20 carries. Of course, playing both sides of the ball. He'll play up front defensively as well. He'll be a workhorse, and he'll be a young man that the Rockets will definitely key on here tonight. Yeah,
we saw him last year. What a great game he had against us last year, and he's going to be the one that we're going to have to stop tonight.
Most definitely. Let's take another commercial break. We'll be back to talk a little bit more about the Rockets after this.
Know that with Apex Banking Online, you can access your accounts, pay bills, and send money to friends and family anytime. Our online banking feature gives you the advantage of secure banking right from anywhere. With our mobile app and online services, banking has never been more convenient. We're here to serve you wherever you go. Visit us in Chapel Hill or call 931-246-7105. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Joseph Fowler and his outstanding staff are dedicated to providing the most effective, clinically superior physical therapy humanly possible. They make it easy to get back in the game by accepting most insurances, including Medicare. They specialize in total joint replacement rehab and orthopedic conditions. They'll help get your range of motion, flexibility, and your strength back. They even assist in dizziness and balance disorders. Get yourself back in the game at Benchmark Physical Therapy, 4654 Nashville Highway.
And welcome back here as we get set for the Battle of the North and the South. As we talked about, Cornersville coming off a tough loss to Richland in their season opener. Meanwhile, the Rockets really got it going in the second half, scored the last 24 to take care of Eagleville 55-24. And Ricky, we talked about it. You had an outstanding stat to pass along, and folks, I want you to stop and listen to this one.
Sometimes you're just sitting around, hadn't got a lot to do, and you start dissecting things. That's where I've got to in my life, folks. You have to forgive me. But the Rockets had 46 offensive snaps last week. All right, 46 snaps. But they had 55 points. So if you divide that out, that's 1.19 points per snap. So if they can do that tonight, every time the Rockets snap the ball and they score more than 1 point per snap, they're going to have a good night offensively. So we got, again, 46 offensive snaps, produced 55 points. That's 1.19 points per snap. I mean, just useless information, but we look at those things like that and how the flow of the game goes sometimes, and that's one of the things that I had tonight to highlight.
I think if you had that information beforehand and said, hey, we're going to score 1.9 points every time we snap the ball, we would probably headed to Tunica if they had a line on this game, more than likely.
Right.
But go ahead, Rick.
The special teams, I had three three items I want to go over. Special teams accounted for 13 points. Gavin Grissom was 2 for 3 on field goals, missed his first one, but gathered himself up, made 2 in a row, 7 for 7 on his points after touchdown. And Eli Bell, a 53-yard punt return for a touchdown. So the 13 special team points didn't hurt a thing last week to get the Rockets again another plus side in the plus column.
You talk about all phases. They played very well last week. We talked about it, the unfortunate incident and the accident and the injury to Brenton Burchell. And first of all, just want to send our thoughts and prayers out to him. And I saw him for just a few moments yesterday as he came by the coach's office as I was chatting with the coaches. And it was wonderful for him. I mean, you saw him. He's interacting with his teammates and the coaches. And, you know, everybody's just thinking, man, we wish we had him back out there. He's a great young man. I'm glad that they were able to get him in and get him patched up, but we definitely miss him on the field. And they really missed him initially after his absence because Eagleville scored a couple of long touchdown plays in his absence. But for the Rocket coaching staff, you take your hat off to them because they were able to find a combination to work later in the game that got the job done.
Yeah, if you're baking a cake and got a couple of ingredients that you don't have, it's hard to make that cake work and come out like you want it to. But the Rockets coaching staff did put that together. I was pleased with that effort.
You know, we talked about it during the season, early in the season, during the preseason with Coach Stevenson about how good a continuity that the coaching staff had. You saw that during last week's game when you have to coach on the fly, have to make some adjustments, and they were able to find the right combination to get themselves home and pick up the victory.
Yeah, they had to do it right there on the spot. And the defense forced 6 punts, 1 turnover on downs, and then 1 interception by Tyler Ayers. So that's 8 possessions that Eagleville did not do anything, and the Rockets defense shined.
Coach Bridges has done a wonderful job as a defensive coordinator and picked up right where they left off from last year. With that being said, let's take another break. We'll be back with more here on TC Sports 1 after this.
Hometown banking. It's having your decisions made by a bank right here in your town, not in another city, county, or even state. It's neighbors and friends who know your name and take the time to greet you when you walk in. It's modern technology such as online banking and mobile check deposits while still being able to talk to a living, breathing human. Come visit us at 4641 Nashville Highway or call us at 364-7888. First Commerce Bank, your first choice for hometown banking, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Moving forward with strong tradition. It's the town's motto, but it holds so true today. The town of Chapel Hill is balancing expanded growth with preserving the small town traditions that make it special. The town's administration and employees would like to take this time to reaffirm their commitment to the citizens of Chapel Hill and to wish the Rockets and Lady Rockets success in their upcoming seasons. From the home of the Lions Super Bowl of the South, the town of Chapel Hill says, "Go Rockets!"
Last week, it was kind of a Titans brand of football. The Rockets like to run the football. They like to play smash mouth, and they got out. The offensive line performed extremely well, and as a result of that, Tayton Swift had a big game, Ricky.
Yeah, he carried it 13 times for 184 yards. Get your multiplier and divider and subtractor out on that one, folks. That's more than 10 yards per carry. Ryan Hill, the quarterback, 7 carries for 45 yards. He had a touchdown in the game. He's tough. He stuck his nose in there several times running the ball. Chose not to throw it, but only one time completed that pass for a touchdown. Chris Davis, 11 carries for 64 yards as well. So the Rocket don't matter running game. Don't matter, Troy, who you give it to. They're going to do well with it.
Yeah, and Ricky, give us the stat. How many total yards rushing last week for the Rockets?
45 rushes for 426 yards. That in itself is almost 10 yards per carry.
Yeah,
no matter who touches it.
That's not bad. And Coach Stevenson, I told him when we did our interview this week, and folks, due to the circumstances, probably not going to have enough time to get that on here, but one of the things that he relayed, and I talked to him about depth, I said, you've got the program now in a situation where there's competition at almost every position. And he talked about it. A lot of positions, there are some guys. He said, of course, Mr. Tankersley is not going to have any competition over at his position, but he said, we've got 4 or 5 guards that can play he said, you know, you rotate guys in and out, you keep them at a high level, you keep them fresh. And I really feel like they've gotten to that point where their depth with the style of football that they want to play in the third and fourth quarter, if you've got that kind of depth, you can wear teams down, and that's the advantage I think they're probably going to have here tonight.
Yeah, we didn't see the guys, you know, and it's hot, and the first game, we didn't see a lot of our guys go down. I don't remember seeing one, maybe one on the sidelines with the cramps. I didn't see a lot of that, so that tells me that the Rockets are in good shape.
I think the other thing that you have to be pleased with if you're a Rocket fan, in that first game, you expect to see, not that coaches want it, but a few more penalties, a few more turnovers, fumbled snaps, those kind of things. Ricky, penalties, what we got?
Minimum 3 for 25 yards, no fumbles, no turnovers, no interceptions, none of that, not even close. So, boy, what a first game start that was.
Those are the kind of things that will win you football games on a long-term basis. If you can win the turnover battle as they did last week, you know, nicely done in that aspect, and they kind of, as we talked about with this game tonight, what they want to do, they kind of wore on Eagleville as the game went on. The depth really begun to show late in the game.
I'm tickled with our freshman quarterback. And the big guys that we got that's counting on to run the ball, he didn't miss a beat. He stayed. He made every handoff, executed perfectly. I am so impressed with that young man's first game as a Rocket.
The things that he didn't do were just about as impressive as the things that he did. He took care of the football, didn't try to throw it up in traffic, really made nice decisions, and that is something that you see or, you know, expect to see from a junior and senior. But to have the first time that you step on a varsity field, have that kind of performance, that's big.
Oh yeah, just as the game comes to you, or you go to the game, he made it happen. I mean, a lot of times the game is too big for a first-time player, but not for Mr. Ryan Hill last week.
You know, Coach Stevenson talked about that. He said, we've got a situation now where we've got a veteran group around him. It was a time where if there was a time that we were going to go with a freshman, this was it, because he is, for the football equivalent, a gym rat. Really knows the game, student of the game. And Coach Stevenson said, you know what, we felt comfortable going with him, and we felt comfortable he could do the job. And they did a wonderful job of giving him just enough. They'll expand his role throughout the season, but I thought the coaching staff did a good job of giving him a kind of basic game plan last week.
And if you're Ryan Hill, don't you love that confidence in your coach? Oh, it makes you go to the next game just, boy, oh, boy, give me the football.
Let's hope he is just as happy tonight as he was last week. We'll take another break. We'll be back with more here on TC Sports 1.
Funeral home and cremation services had its beginning in 1939 when Thomas H. Lawrence established the business. Lawrence Funeral Home has always strived to provide compassionate, dignified, and professional service to every family it serves, regardless of their circumstances. Lawrence Funeral Home pledges to the families of Marshall and surrounding counties to continue providing excellence in funeral service. In your time of need, our family is there for your family. Lawrence Funeral Home and Cremation Service.
Stop in and visit Mac Equipment, your largest Exmark and Cub Cadet dealer in the state of Tennessee. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Chapel Hill at 109 North Horton Parkway, next to Southern Roots Hair Salon. Mac Equipment offers parts, sales, service, and rental. Their factory-certified technicians also service multiple brands of outdoor power equipment, making this a perfect stop for your future equipment repairs. Don't forget to visit our 2 other locations in Murfreesboro and Louisburg. That's Mac Equipment.
The countdown is on as we approach about 16 minutes away, as you can see from the kickoff here this evening, as this old rivalry set to be renewed here this evening. Ricky, a lot on the line tonight for both of these squads. For the Rockets, a 2-0 start. You win 2 rivalry games out of the chute. Get some confidence as you head down to Loretta for the first region game next week.
Boy, that could jumpstart these Forrest Rockets to no end, Troy. They would love to have that happen here tonight. And then Cornersville, on the other hand, you know, they probably don't want to think that they're probably the underdog here tonight.
Yeah, and again, you know, they lost that rivalry game last week. What better way to get yourselves back on track and get your confidence back than taking down a team that's going to be ranked in the top 10 in 2A?
Exactly, and they're looking to to make a statement by doing that here tonight. So they're again, it's a rivalry game. You got to throw all the records in the past out the window. Everything starts again. It's like the first game of the series instead of the 100th or however many we've played.
Ricky, you don't want to look too far ahead, but you never take that first region game for granted. Loretta always plays the Rockets tough, but they had a young man last week, the running back Porter, who had 6 touchdowns for the Mustangs against Collinwood last week. So they will be charged. The defense will have a task in stopping him.
6. That's a good number in a football game. That's large.
Is a good number, especially TDs. That was a big night for him. And, of course, as we talked about, they're going to have to try to control the C-note tonight. Benjamin Franklin,
C-note,
as he looks to get loose and get the Cornersville Bulldogs on track. Ricky, you talk about this matchup and what it has meant throughout the county. And Sharon can kind of chime in on this one for us a little bit. Having the trophy for years and years, and just talk about how the pride worked on that.
Oh gosh, that's been a number of years. I'd have to say, Troy, that's probably been almost 2 decades ago when we used to have the traveling trophy, and it was some, I'll tell you what, some, for lack of a better term, some real mouthing going on, and it was all in fun, of course. Really enjoyed that Battle of the North and the South, just the hype surrounding it, and presenting the trophy. And I know you presented the trophy. Where is the trophy?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I think since Cornersville and Forrest is back again with the Battle of the North and the South, I think what we really need to do, find that trophy and bring that back. That was just so much fun.
Food for thought this week.
Set it out to the 50-yard line before the kickoff,
That would be nice. And that's the part of this rivalry that's great. I mean, these guys grow up together. They play on a lot of the same teams. But when you get around to it tonight, bragging rights on the line.
Oh, absolutely. They do travel baseball and all that stuff. And they're good friends, like you said, Troy. And but throw all that out with the records.
The funny thing was last year at Cornersville took the victory, of course, and after it was over with, my son hadn't been in that rivalry as far as, blood and guts that you go through each year with Forrest and Cornersville. He'd only been in that for a year or two, and after the game was over with, he's like, man, he said, this one hurts. You want to win this game. He said, just being around these guys and knowing just how much that game means, he said it was kind of disappointing for them, but they were able after that, I think, to regroup and really showed some mettle the last part of that season. They got their season together, ended up getting into the 3rd round, and really probably were a play away from getting into the 4th. So, who knows? This game means a lot, but in the sense of things, 2nd game of the year, there's still a lot of football to play.
Yeah, I think they did take some inventory, and after that heartbreaking loss, it's hard to lose to Cornersville, and they made something happen, made something good out of it.
Mr. Peter Wilson running the board here for us tonight. Peter, take us to break.
Amigos Mexican Grill is the place you'll find all your authentic favorites, from burritos to enchiladas to sizzling fajitas, all served fast and fresh. Dine in, order online, or call in your order at 364-2222. Also, Amigos has catering services available for your next big occasion as well. Good food, good times at Amigos Mexican Grill, 216 South Horton Parkway. Visit their other locations in Louisburg and Spring Hill. Amigos, proud supporters of the Rockets.
Louisburg Animal Hospital serves the veterinary needs of Marshall County. They've grown to a 4-doctor practice specializing in small animal medicine. They offer advanced medicine, surgery, and nursing care in a personal and relaxed environment with the utmost compassion for their patients. For your pet's grooming and boarding needs, Maggie Rue Pet Retreat and Grooming Salon is located adjacent to the hospital. Call 931-359-5945 to schedule an appointment for your pet.
And welcome back here in Cornersville. I guess it's a throwdown in Corntown tonight. Ricky, Forrest, and the Bulldogs.
That's what we got. We got some tailgate competition in the parking lot, I understand. I think some Chapel Hill folks came down. Boys, they're going to have their hands full beating that Cornersville tailgate. And I've been enjoying that the last several years. Pretty good stuff.
They definitely do it right.
They do.
pregame points awarded to the Bulldogs on that one. And again, Ricky, this is one of those games that, as a community, they had gotten away from this for so long. These are the kind of games I think you not only need to play, you just have to play these games. The gates are great. The fans love it. I mean, this is what you want to see.
Yeah, even in that reclassification, we've got used to that because it used to not happen as much. Now that the influx of people is coming in everywhere, they reclassify us year in, year out, just about. But that doesn't mean we still can't play, like you said. We got to play each year. I would love to see all three teams play. Chapel Hill play Louisburg and Cornersville. Cornersville play Louisburg and Chapel Hill.
I would too, and I think the one thing is for the Rockets, they've got Cornersville on the schedule. Coach Stevenson told me yesterday, hey, we're going to keep them on the schedule any way possible. We're going to keep them on the schedule. We want to have Eagleville on the schedule. Not sure if the Eagles will elect to keep us or not. You want Moore County on the schedule. I think the Raiders are pretty much all in that they want to continue the rivalry. Those are the kind of games that the fans that have been here for a long time, those are the names that they recognize. Those are the names that strike a chord and get you excited as a fan. And those are the games I think as a program, you want to keep playing those games.
Absolutely. I remember in the 60s and 70s, we would go to Huntland on game 10. We would see the cotton fields ready to be picked. No leaves on the trees. It was cold. It was either going to rain, snow, or sleet in Huntland every year that we went down there. Forget about the weather. It's going to rain, sleet, or snow. But that's the way we liked it.
Yeah, those are the things that you remember, and as fans, the great things about these games is just getting together, keeping that rivalry going. A great crowd turning in to a great crowd here tonight. The rain, of course, early on has faded away. Looks like we're going to have clear skies the rest of the way tonight as the sun about to peek over the horizon over there, and I think we will all breathe a sigh of relief for that one, Ricky.
Absolutely, and this is going to be, everybody hold on, 'cause this is going to be a pretty good game. Cornersville got a tradition the last several years here, and they're not going to give up easy. Of course, the Rockets are not going to give up easy. That first hit, we'll see what happens.
Folks, do want to pass along a couple of things, and Principal Brent Adcox, Athletic Director Eric Crabtree, super to work with for us, but I will pass along this. We are not in a very high vantage point. We are in the visitors' bleachers, so we may have a little interference time and again if somebody gets up, and the vantage point will not be as high as we're accustomed to, but hey, we're going to make the best of what we got. Just want to kind of pass that along early on and thank everyone for their patience in tuning in here tonight.
Eye Care Clinic, Dr. Jeffrey Jordan and his staff offer a wide range of services, including comprehensive eye exams, advanced testing, and eye disease management. Fashion frames from top names like Guess and Kate Spade. They also stay on top of new eye care advances like Vuity and Upneat. And that unique Dr. J touch that always leaves you with a smile until your next visit. Make your appointment at 359-4373. Advanced Eye Care Clinic, 815 East Commerce.
Your one-stop shop to keep your vehicle running smooth is J Automotive. From routine maintenance like oil changes to brake repairs, tires and alignment, and exhaust work as well, J has got you covered. They work on gas and diesel engines. Call Vince or Matt Jackson at 931-364-5602 or stop by their location at 1791 Highway 99. Keep your vehicle in tip-top shape at J Automotive.
Awaiting our national anthem here in Cornersville as we get set for kickoff, Rockets and the Bulldogs.
And tonight's national anthem is going to be played by the Forrest Band of Blue.
broadcast on TC Sports 1, brought to you by Advanced Eye Care Clinic, home of the real Dr. J, Dr. Jeffrey Jordan. By Amigos Mexican Grill, authentic Mexican cuisine. By Apex Bank, a top performer amongst Tennessee community banks. By Benchmark Physical Therapy, where they'll get you back in the game. By Brooks Grocery, where you'll find your next favorite food. Also brought to you by Dr. William Bell at Chapel Hill Family Dentistry. By Clint's Air Care, your local ring dealer. By Farm Bureau Insurance, auto, life, health, and homeowners. By First Commerce Bank, your first choice for hometown banking. We're brought to you by Highway 99 Storage, now with climate control units. By J Automotive, your one-stop auto shop. By Lawrence Funeral Home and Cremation Services, serving since 1939. By Louisburg Animal Hospital, your other family doctor. By Mac Equipment, your local Cub and Exmark dealer. And by the town of Chapel Hill, moving forward with strong tradition.
Closer to kickoff we inch here in Cornersville. The 0-1 Bulldogs, the 1-0 Rockets getting set to do battle here on TC Sports 1. Troy Cashin, Ricky Sweeney, soon to be joined by Noble Mays, as I think the young man has just arrived here as he got stuck in some traffic heading this way as we get set for your kickoff here. Ricky, I think for the Rockets, same formula as last week. They want to try to run behind that big offensive line, wear the Bulldogs down, and really kind of keep the game plan simple. Just pound it, and pick up a win.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to keep doing that same thing here tonight. I think Mr. Noble Mays is just about ready to join us. I think he'd agree with that.
Yeah, and I think for the Bulldogs, they want to ride Ben Franklin as much as they can. Maybe if you're Coach Waddell, first time that he has coached in this rivalry, maybe if there's something that you haven't used in the preseason, maybe you break out a few trick plays here tonight.
How many emails and how many conversations you think that young coach has had about this game from Cornersville? He's had a ton.
I'm sure he has gotten an earful. Ricky will man the statistical board for us here as he gives way to Noble Mays, and we get set for the kickoff here from Cornersville. Noble, glad to have you, young man.
I'm certainly glad to be here. I appreciate it. I see you got young Peter with you again. Got Miss Sharon there, and my man, best statistician that there is around. Yes, indeed, Mr. Sweeney.
We have already said, and we will reiterate it again, we have no one to thank but the good Lord above for being able to get on here tonight. The situation was difficult, but God has provided a way thus far. We will hope that that does continue throughout the night as we have our fingers crossed, and we're praying out loud here most of the time for this to continue throughout this contest where we can be able to bring you from start to conclusion here on TC Sports 1. Kind of a difficult set of circumstances tonight, but, hey, we wouldn't miss this rivalry for anything.
Tell you what, T-Roy, you can uncross your fingers, my man, because you said God provided. So
you're right. I thought about that as I was saying it.
Yes, indeed. You can uncross your fingers. You don't have to worry about any more superstitions or anything of that nature. You ask, you knock, and the door shall be open, sir. So there you have it there. So we're going to enjoy this beautiful weather here. Look at there, the sun's about to go down, and the lights will come on, and this atmosphere here will get kind of rocky, sir.
Yes, sir. And, no, we kind of missed it. We had gone over the rivalry, of course. Rockets leading the rivalry by a considerable margin, but last year the Bulldogs coming into Chapel Hill and taking the win. So that is all they are worried about at this point is, hey, we have bragging rights right now.
Yes, indeed, and I recall that game last year. Forrest played at home, and that defense kept them in the game throughout. So you just kept waiting on the offense to give a little spark or something. And defense, as I said, they were able to hang around for quite a while. So that game there was undecided for most of that contest.
Noble, as we work on the fly here, we may have to kind of do a little sharing. We don't have a table in front of us here, so we're just kind of holding our notes and our rosters and stuff. So we may have to do a little sharing between us back and forth here as we go back and forth between this game. Cornersville getting set to make their way onto the field. They've got a lot of students out here as that is one game that they have marked on the calendar an awful lot as the Rockets now will make their way onto the field first, decked out in their white uniforms tonight with the blue numerals and white helmets. They are coached by Eli Stevenson. Great job at the helm. His record now 34-16 as coach of the Forrest Rockets, a 68% winning percentage for Coach Eli. He's assisted by Ryan Bridges, Kyle Stacy, Jacob Doherty, Jason Hill, Tony Johnson, Zach Russell, Chad Harden, Mr. Larry Rojo Chapman, and the athletic trainer, Miss Leah Williams. Bulldogs making their way onto the field as they are under the direction of Shelby Waddell in his first season. Comes over from Hazel Green. He is assisted by John Conklin, Elliott Cook, Greg Davis, Henley Mitchell, Lewis Schickenzuber, Jason Starr, Andy Woodard, and Bradley Woodard. As we talked about, it's a friendly rivalry. These guys will get together and shake hands after it's over with, but make no mistake about it, both groups really want to take home this win.
And I'll tell you how friendly it is, T-Roy. Even the fans. We had an opportunity, me and the fans, we did the prayer and the national anthem pre-game, not necessarily out here on the field. So me and some of the fans were behind closed doors, so very friendly. So there I was with an F on my shirt, and there they were representing the Bulldogs, and we were all assembled together in one house.
Rockets will get the football first here tonight. Jake Welch, the junior, to kick it off for the Bulldogs. Cornersville 0-1. Comes in having lost to Richland last Thursday night, 31-20. Rockets beat Eagleville last Friday in the home opener for them, 55-24. All the hype, and we are down to it. Welch approaches, and this one will be end over end, taking center of the field. Good return set up, straight up the middle, and the Rockets will get good starting field position out at their own 43-yard line. Nice return as the squib kick by Cornersville, and it was Carson Yates being able to pick it up and make the return, and that's something that I'm sure they watched film last week and saw the return game of the Rockets.
Not only that, they've probably seen also the ball going out of bounds a couple times, and they didn't want to give up those additional yards, but that squib kick, they gave up a lot of yards, but Carson Yates, he did exactly what you prescribed, T-Roy. Caught the ball on the hop, went straight up the little wedge there, got everything he could get out of that, and almost broke it. T-Roy needed one tackle to go to the house.
Thought that might be the case. The wing position, it's Davis with the pitch, and he had some room on the corner, but got his cleat stuck in the turf, and he'll lose a couple of yards. And that young man came to Coach Stevenson this week, Noble, and told him, hey, Coach, I want to play wing back this week. Let me play wing back. Coach Stevenson said, you know what? Hey, football's yours. He gave it to him on the first carry there, and had he not hung that cleat in the turf, he would have had a big gain there.
There was a lot of room over there, T-Roy. I was looking at the sideline, and they now the wide side of the field is over here on the left side now. They come this way.
2nd and 17 as they go back to the ground. Cornersville, a good job up front as they muddy that one up at the line of scrimmage. So now 3rd down and long as Liam Bell gets the carry. Bell picked up a touchdown last week, Noble, and still working his way back from injury. Talked with his dad, Dr. Bell, and he said maybe about 75% now if he had to guess. So he's still working his way back to 100%.
I got you. And I tell you what, T-Roy, he don't have to carry a lot. There's several individuals who will carry their load until he get 100%.
Bo Schillig making the stop for Cornersville as Hill rolling right, and he is taken down. Good pressure by the Bulldogs, and a 3 and out for Cornersville, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for them.
That's a heavy ask for a defense to come out against this offense, but I tell you what, the Bulldogs did exactly what you asked them to do. They gave up great field position with that squib kick, and the defense came on the field, handled their business. T-Roy 3 and out. So that's not in the favor of the Rockets that time with the great field position they had, T-Roy.
Not the ask for the Rockets, though, with the kind of offense you want to run. They want to pound you. They would have been maybe 2nd and short or picked up a 1st down, but Davis hangs that cleat. They get put in 2nd and long, and Cornersville takes advantage.
Wasn't a lot of pounding going on that drive, T-Roy.
Rockets to punt it away. Snap is good. Grissom will get it out of there. It will angle and go out of bounds, and the Bulldogs will get good starting field position, Noble, up around their own 45-yard line.
Looks like everything worked out Bulldogs' way. Think about it, T-Roy. 3 facets of the game. Special teams, they kicked a squib kick that didn't work in their favor, but the defense came on, played great defense. Now, as a result of that, the Rockets didn't do a fine job necessarily with that kick, and as a result of special teams on both sides, now we have the ball in the hands of the Bulldogs and see if they can take advantage of it. And as you said, T-Roy, for the folks at home, great field position. Tell them one more time where the Bulldogs are starting from.
Yeah, they get it from the 45, inside the 45 of the Rockets. So excellent starting field position. As the Bulldogs will send Cale Adcox, receiver wide right. They'll work from the gun with Woodard at the controls. Franklin out of the backfield, quarterback keeper, and that one snuffed out immediately. Great penetration by the Rockets. Spence Tankersley.
Yes, indeed. There it is. 6'5", 290-pound junior that time. Number 77 came in. He got in so quickly, T-Roy, I'm not even sure if it's polite to say he was unblocked. I don't know. Maybe he skimmed off his block kind of quickly, but I didn't see much effort on that time by the offense of the Bulldogs.
Coach Bridges doing an excellent job as you see him right in front of our vantage point here, giving the signals as once again, they go back to the ground, weaving his way through traffic across the 40 down to about the 37, 38-yard line. That's Mason Callahan, the senior. So Cornersville now in a makeable down and distance here on third down, and maybe Noble at this point, 2-down territory.
That pursuit did not do their job, T-Roy. Liam Bell, number 6, off the edge, he pushed everything back inside. What he needed was some of those white jerseys to fill that hole and stop that ball short of where it got to.
3rd and 4. Blaine Woodard, the junior, at the controls. Franklin to his right. Play clock winding down. Reaches 5 as they'll throw on third down. The pass incomplete. Had the receiver, but I think he was ready to turn upfield before he gathered the pigskin, and it'll be 4th down.
Blake Estes, T-Roy, number 19 for the Bulldogs. And as you said, T-Roy, he turned his head, swiveled a little bit, knew some footsteps was on him, and tried to turn up before he had possession of the ball, allowed the ball to get in on his pads rather than catch it with his hands, T-Roy.
It'll bring up 4th down, and as we talked about, that was 2-down territory. 4th and 4 now for the Bulldogs from the Rocket 38-yard line. 8:46 left here in the opening quarter. Woodard will roll. Now tucked back inside as the pressure came from the backside. He will ground it, and nobody in the area. Noble, I'm just wondering, I thought maybe we might get intentional grounding there, but they're going to say someone maybe just enough in the area to not get the flag.
Yes, indeed, T-Roy. I'm going to take my hat off to Riley Durbin. I know we spoke about him quite often last week.
The Manimal.
He's going to keep getting his name called. 61 came in, applied initial pressure, and as a result of that, number 1, Chris Davis came in and finished him up along with Jesse Lindemann, T-Roy. But 61, he gets credit for stirring everything up in that pot that time.
Lindemann has been a wonderful find for the Rockets, really stepped up. Rockets take over 1st and 10 from their own 38. Hill at the controls. Give coming left, cuts it back up inside. Good running room and a really shifty cut back by Swift to pick up an extra 2 or 3 yards as he will reach the midfield stripe. Gain of 12, and Swift picking up right where he left off last week.
Swift was able to cut back because of number 56, Cameron Orr, and number 1, Chris Davis. Both of them providing key blocks, and as he seen those 2 blocks, he planted that foot and he cut back against the grain, T-Roy. Great job of having your head up that time, Swift.
Nicely done. Interior of the line gave him a good running lane as well, Noble.
Yes, indeed, T-Roy. We'll call some of them big linemen here in a short second.
From the midfield stripe, Davis in motion. He'll get it coming right. Cornersville with good pursuit. He's unable to get to the corner, broke a tackle, and fell forward. Noble, he picked up a couple and really probably should have lost a couple there. Great individual hustle to get there by Davis.
As you said, T-Roy, a lot of individual effort that time. There were quite a few Bulldogs there, and he did a great job of keeping up and keeping his footwork and actually coming out of what should have been an obvious loss of yards.
2nd down now. The gain is a little more than 3. 2nd, we'll call it a short 6 or a short 7, long 6. Bell, give again, Swift. Uses his blocker on the corner. 40, 35, down to the 30, where he is taken down, and a nice job by Woodard making the stop, but Swift did an excellent job of reading his blocker, Noble, at about the 40-yard line, picked up an extra 10 after that.
He read two blockers, T-Roy. As you said, you got to give credit to Swift for having his head up and being able to read the key blocks. But number 61 again, Durbin, and number 6 also providing the block, Liam Bell. Great job. And T-Roy, I will do it all night long. We talked about this plethora of running backs available to Coach Stevenson, but they do a fine job of blocking also, T-Roy.
Tankersley, Orr, Street, Allen, and Stoddard up front, and you'll also get a few young men stepping in. You'll get Durbin playing a little bit as well in there as Davis gets the pitch, comes right, gets the corner to the 25, the 20, and taken down at about the 18-yard line. And Noble, I think that's what the Rockets want to see. That's the game plan here tonight. Use that big offensive line, wear the Bulldogs down, and run the football.
Tell you what, T-Roy, Cameron Orr, 56, again, number 6, Liam Bell out there leading the way. But I tell you what I'm noticing, T-Roy, haven't seen this quite a bit in the arsenal of the Forrest Rockets. We know they like to pound. Oh, they playing wide and they playing speed tonight, T-Roy. They getting to the edges. They pulling those big guards and letting them get downfield with that fancy footwork.
Bell 1st and 10 as they come to Swift again. Just about broke that one as the gap closed, and Swift almost able to break it as he will get a big gain there down to about the 12, 11-yard line. And once again, Noble, good job on the outside of getting those blocks, and he'll just turn simple pitch and Swift does the rest.
When you say good job, it's going to sound repetitious. It's going to sound redundant, T-Roy. 56, Cameron Orr, and number 6, Liam Bell. And I don't want this to sound disrespectful. I had an old football coach tell me, once you find 1 or 2 plays that work, you just run that to both sides. They may get a heavy dose of this on both sides all night.
Hill under center. Lindemann will set up on the right side of the formation as they give, coming back left, cutting it back inside as Bell wraps that football up, gets inside the 10. He'll pick up his first down now. First down and goal to go for the Rockets as once again, Noble, strength just moving the line of scrimmage, and you can see those white jerseys up front winning the battle at the line of scrimmage.
Good, T-Roy. There was 3 white jerseys, and I apologize to the third fellow, the 3 Amigos there. I don't know who the third one was, but I seen 77, Spence Tankersley. I seen 17, Landon Groenville, and I seen another one, but they all sealed down, giving the running back an opportunity. A lot of Bulldogs on the edge, but there was 3 Amigos there in the white jersey who sealed their blocks off on the inside.
Rockets looking to take advantage. First and goal from the 7. 4:40 left here in the opening quarter. Give Davis. Cuts it back inside. He'll go into the end zone. And Noble, that was pretty easy. That was a wonderful job by Davis. The vision as he got to the outside, it looked like the play was designed to go wide. He saw the crease, cut it back inside, and got into the end zone virtually untouched.
Again, T-Roy. 56, Cameron Orr, 6'2", 215-pound junior, and number 6, Liam Bell, 6'1", 195-pound junior, both blocked. They didn't actually have to block anybody. The Bulldogs played a little underlay there. They got out of the way, and as a result of that, touchdown.
G squared, Gavin Grissom on for the point after try. Hold is good, snap is good, and the kick is good as well. And the Rockets have taken the early lead, 7-0 here in Cornersville.
You can't have it all. At Brooks Grocery, they've got farm fresh fruits and vegetables, a deli with a selection of freshly prepared favorites, Brooks specialties like Ava's pimento cheese and Adam's chicken salad, freshly made pies, cakes, and desserts. And who could possibly forget the best meat department you'll find anywhere? Great selection, online ordering, and friendly customer service. Brooks Grocery, the place you'll find your next favorite food.
Chapel Hill Family Dentistry has been serving the oral care needs of Chapel Hill and the surrounding area since 2006. They're a general and cosmetic dental practice dedicated to improving your smile and the overall oral health of you and your entire family. Their goal was to provide superior quality health care in a comfortable environment. Call and schedule your appointment today at 364-4557. That's Dr. William Bell and the Chapel Hill Dentistry staff, proud supporters of the Forrest Rockets.
Rockets take the early lead. A really nice drive there by Forrest. As they get on the board first. And we're at break. I'm not sure exactly what's happened, but you can see our scoreboard here. We may have to go back in and adjust the controls. This is not giving you the Cornersville and Forrest up on the board right now. So we'll work on that at the next break. But you do know right now the blue is on top 7-0.
4:29 remaining. G Square did his thing one more time. T-Roy kicked the ball into the end zone. As a result of that, number 19, Blake Estes, was unable to return the ball out.
Noble, I'm going to let you take over for just a minute. I'm going to work on trying to get this back
indeed,
on for us here.
Bulldogs have the ball. For the folks at home listening, they bring the ball at their own 20-yard line. They have split wide out onto the right and then a flanker over to the left. Man running in motion, number 34 that time, Austin King, quarterback and shotgun. Handoff right up the left side off tackle there, T-Roy. He's down to the 35-yard line. I think that is none other than number 38, Jonathan Zuninga, T-Roy. And I may pronounce his name incorrectly, T-Roy.
I think we got it now, and thank you for taking over there for a sec. Is now, Noble, we're beginning to get a little better vision of what's going on right now. Zuniga, as you said, the junior with the carry.
Looked like that could have very well gone a little farther than that. He had to run right up the backside of his blocker there, T-Roy. He was running with a great deal of speed and power.
Now for the Rockets, you want to seize that momentum defensively or keep the momentum. Rockets, of course, looking to shut the Bulldogs out here, maybe get that ball back and drive once more. They have done what they wanted to do here early. That smash mouth drive, get themselves on the board, eat up a lot of clock. Bulldogs wanting to respond here.
Yes, indeed, T-Roy. They got a nice little combination in the backfield also of speed and power back there as well. So that ball can be switched up going both ways.
And Noble, we haven't seen Franklin as of yet.
We have not, T-Roy. You got a twin set out here, so I don't know if they just threatening the pass, but I would give it to Big Zuninga in the backfield.
They'll turn and give it. Coming that way. Across the midfield stripe into Rocket territory. And Noble, you got the call right there.
I tell you what, T-Roy, sometimes football is real simple. You bring a twin set out to the right, that means you take two white defenders away from the defense on the inside there, and you just leave the middle wide open. Give it to him again.
That was Mr. Franklin, and Franklin is a load. You can see why he gets a lot of attention, and a lot of folks around here are thinking he could get a big-time offer if he can continue. He's got the size and the speed, Noble. He is a good-looking athlete.
With all those attributes you just mentioned, it's hard not to get a big-time offer, T-Roy. Size and speed, I don't know what much else is after that. Size and speed, the rest of it, you can coach all the rest of it. He has the intangibles, T-Roy.
And a little bit tacked on top of it here, Noble, as I didn't see the penalty marker there. But now the ball is going to be advanced all the way down to the Rocket 44.
No disadvantage to the Rockets, but it go both ways, T-Roy. 3 wideouts, leave the middle wide open. Expect the ball to be handed off to the big back.
There he goes. You called it, Noble, right up the gut. Rockets do a pretty good job that time of filling the hole as Durbin gets in to put the finishing touches on the tackle. And you got a couple other Rockets getting off the pile. My man, Mr. Gravy, Luke Allen, getting off the bottom of the pile, 71, as the Rockets.
I like that. You got to get a little gravy on you, my man. Sometimes you got to get a little brown, a little dirty down off in there. So, and T-Roy, keep an eye. I don't know, but Bulldogs, at any time they want, can put the ball in the air. Forrest won't be expecting it.
Woodard will roll left, tuck and run, gets to the corner, turns it upfield, and Noble, I believe, will have his first down there. So move the chains once more as the clock now under 2 minutes left here in the opening quarter. 1:53 to be exact. Rockets leading at 7-0.
Excellent job of coaching for the Bulldogs, T-Roy. if I had a big back like Franklin, he cannot get all the carries. I'll use him sometime to block, and that time being Franklin got an opportunity to go downfield and provide a key block for his quarterback, Woodard.
Carried it 20 times for 120 yards last week, and Noble, the talk around the community was depth is going to be an issue for Cornersville, that they had some trouble with fatigue in the second half. The Rockets' game plan, of course, I think trying to maybe take advantage of that. Run at them, run at them, run at them, make those guys that are playing both ways really expend a lot of energy.
I'll tell you what, that defense, those who are not on defense are going to get a little break with a drive put together like this, but this offense is doing exactly what they want. They having a wheel at the moment.
Impressive drive put together here by the Bulldogs as they try to respond, try to throw it out in the flat. It's incomplete. Swift getting up in coverage quickly. Wouldn't have been a lot there had Callahan been able to make the reception, but Noble pressure applied to Woodard.
Yes, indeed. That's the 5'11", 150-pound junior freshman that time, number 22, Eli Bell. And as I said, T-Roy, unexpected pass could work against the Forrest Rockets, but Eli Bell did his job, and he hurried the throw by Woodard. And as a result of that errant pass, a waste of a down that time.
Those freshmen have been absolutely great during the preseason and really showed themselves, accounted themselves well last week, and we see Bell make a play here.
When you have freshmen stepping up early in the season, that's a sign of a good season, T-Roy.
This time, the defense with great penetration, and you see Big Spence Tankersley again in on the stop. It's hard to block that big young man.
You said big young man, 6'5", 290-pound junior. He got all that, big and young man.
Definitely a load on the corner. We approach the 30-second mark here in the first quarter. Timeout will be taken by the Bulldogs. We'll take it as well. 7-0 game here in Cornersville.
Hey, there's my girl. Who's that?
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. Ream Heating Equipment was designed to bring affordable comfort to any home. So no matter your budget, we can help you feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Oh, come on! Yes, let's go!
When it's time for a tune-up or a new HVAC system, contact the trusted pros at Clint's Air Care for expert service and installation.
We take a deep breath. I think I can finally enjoy myself a little bit here. It was such a hurried preparation time that we had trying to get on here tonight, so everything has worked out well, and kind of can enjoy the atmosphere here a little bit as we got a little break here at timeout. Great crowd on hand here tonight, and what we expected, Noble, these teams really taking it to each other.
They are, T-Roy. This is what's old school football, T-Roy. Not a lot of pass attempts.
4th and 6. Here's a pass down the middle, overthrown. Back there, defending for the Rockets, it was Cale Adcox, the intended target. May have had a step, but that would have been a really tight window for Woodard to put that one into.
Yes, indeed. Double coverage back there that time. Tayton Swift, number 2, and Levi Van Patten, number 21. He, as you said, a tight window, and actually the window was so tight that the only place he could have gotten it would have been up high, T-Roy.
Rockets will take over, and Noble again, 28 seconds left here in the first quarter. You think if you're the Rockets right here, I think this is a very pivotal drive in this game. If you're the Rockets here, take it down the field again, do exactly what you did on the last drive, get up 14-0. I think you've kind of asserted yourself here early.
That equation you put together, that formula, sounds like a winning formula, T-Roy.
Pitch, Swift trying to get the corner. Fakes inside, tries to go back outside, and actually it was number 2 there for the Bulldogs. That's Riley Qualls, who pushed Swift's blocker back into him as he tried to get the corner.
They call that friendly fire, T-Roy, and that's not a good setup at all. I was all excited to call Cameron Orr, number 56, and number 6, Liam Bell, name again. It seems like they were going to be key in this blocking scheme that they had, and Liam Bell came up slightly limping as a result of that friendly fire.
1 quarter in the books here. The battle of the North and the South right now. North on top, 7-0 here in Cornersville.
if I didn't have you. If I didn't have you.
Your local agents, Scott Bond and Troy Cashin. Are you moving to the area and need a place to store your possessions? Are you trying to declutter your existing space or needing a place to park your boat, RV, truck, trailer, or camper? There's a simple solution. It's Highway 99 Storage. Conveniently located off Highway 99 and James King Road, it's a lighted, secure, and fenced-in area to keep your valuables safe. New units available with climate control. Call 364-5678 to rent. That's Highway 99 Storage.
Second quarter underway as the give up the middle and immediately a penalty marker.
Got a key block that time. I think you call him Gravy Allen, right? Number 71?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. Gravy Allen, the key block that time. Had 2 ankle tackles that time, T-Roy, but as you said, penalty down. It was going to negate what could have been a big run had he broke those ankle tackles.
Holding call. Ricky's feverishly working on some first quarter stats for us. What you got, Rick? Right now for the Rockets, Davis 3 carries for 21 yards, Swift 4 for 42, Liam Bell 3 for 1 right now in the rushing category for the Rockets. Once again, excellent crowd on hand here tonight. This has been 2 games where you've had a number of folks that have been at these contests, but Noble, we had a wonderful turnout viewership-wise for our first game. So if you couldn't be here, we appreciate you tuning in here to TC Sports 1.
We'll give it to you both ways. If you can't come out of the house, we'll tell you about Swift on the corner, T-Roy.
Once again, challenging a would-be tackler, and he got the penalty yardage back, Noble. Excellent, again, job by Swift. And the progression of a running back, Noble, I know you appreciate it because you were a great running back in your day. The way that Swift has developed, setting up his blockers now, being a patient runner, really being able to accelerate through the hole. He's gotten better in each year with those aspects of his game.
T-Roy, it's his vision. He has all the intangibles, but his vision, he keeps his head up, and that's the only way you can be able to bounce off your blockers. Only way you can cut back when you see the cut back is the vision. So his head is up, and it was that time, the power, T-Roy, the intangibles. We know he has the speed and he has the power. It was the quarterback for the Bulldogs he ran over that time.
Once again, negated by a penalty. So now it'll be 2nd down and 15 for the Rockets as they will turn and pitch. Here comes Davis trying to get to the corner. Student body right, cuts it back inside, breaks a couple of tackles across the 30 out to about the 32. And with our vantage point here tonight, one thing, we're coming right in your living room here tonight.
Yes, we are, T-Roy. We right on the field, and I tell you what, we are. I almost feel like one of them sideline reporters or something, right on the field. We bringing it to you right from the field, T-Roy.
What is it, VR? I almost feel like I'm getting somebody coming right into me here with the VR set on.
Virtual reality, yes, sir. You may want to get out of the way here in a second.
A beautiful shot of the horizon there as the sun has gone down. Beautiful sky, excellent weather here. A little rain before, but it has been a wonderful night thus far as 2 old rivals getting together.
It's a big play, T-Roy. It's 3rd down and 6.
Davis, great job that time of breaking a couple of tackles. Coach Stevenson, maybe they didn't get exactly what they wanted. They will take a timeout. We'll take it as well. We'll return after this here on TC Sports 1.
Know that with Apex Banking Online, you can access your accounts, pay bills, and send money to friends and family anytime. Our online banking feature gives you the advantage of secure banking right from anywhere. With our mobile app and online services, banking has never been more convenient. We're here to serve you wherever you go. Visit us in Chapel Hill or call 931-246-7105. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Joseph Fowler and his outstanding staff are dedicated to providing the most effective, clinically superior physical therapy humanly possible. They make it easy to get back in the game by accepting most insurances, including Medicare. They specialize in total joint replacement rehab and orthopedic conditions. They'll help get your range of motion, flexibility, and your strength back. They even assist in dizziness and balance disorders. Get yourself back in the game at Benchmark Physical Therapy, 4654 Nashville Highway.
Welcome back. Key 3rd down conversion upcoming. 10-16 left here, 2nd quarter. Rockets lead at 7-0. Ball spotted down on their own 32-yard line.
Good timeout, Coach Stevenson. Big down here, 3rd and 6. You won't need all 3 timeouts on offense.
They'll move the formation. Davis now will line up wide left. Hill rolling that way. Fires, pass caught. Davis will turn it upfield, 1st down and more as he crosses the 45 out to the 46. And the passer rating for Hill remains perfect.
I like it, T-Roy. 2 pass attempts on the season.
2 pass attempts, 2 completions.
I like that. I think experimental probability, my man, the number of times an event occur over the number of trials. He's had 2 passes. Both of them been successful. I like that. He's 100%.
Noble, really nicely done on the roll. They got him out of the pocket, really looked comfortable as he rolled, and that was a really nice throw to Davis. Soft, catchable ball.
Also, not necessarily predictable. You weren't sure exactly what the Rockets would bring you.
Give coming right, cutting it back inside is Groenveld, and getting there early, fighting off the block with David Metcalf, the senior for the Bulldogs.
Great deal of tackling that time, and so he got as much as he could get that time with the running game. So T-Roy, I may be a little greedy. I know what the Rockets showed me just then was that power run game in between tackles. I'm going to ask for what I seen successful in the first quarter. I wouldn't mind seeing them go wide again. Pull the guard number 56, Cameron Orr. He's been excellent. I wouldn't mind seeing him pull and have you running back. I think that's Liam Bell maybe going to the other side. Swift going to the other side behind him.
They've had that little student body right, student body left as they go back left side this time. Swift with the carry. He'll cross the midfield stripe, get into Bulldog territory before being taken down there. But once again, good quick hitter. Swift, as you said, good vision, takes on the would-be tackler, picks up a couple after contact.
Liam Bell providing the key block. And again, number 61, Riley Durbin. You had 2 lead blockers that time, and then Swift showed you the power and the speed.
We've got an injured Bulldog as they come out to attend to the Cornersville player. Still cannot get a number there, but as they attend to him, let's take a break. We'll be back with more after this.
Hometown banking. It's having your decisions made by a bank right here in your town, not in another city, county, or even state. It's neighbors and friends who know your name and take the time to greet you when you walk in. It's modern technology such as online banking and mobile check deposits while still being able to talk to a living, breathing human. Come visit us at 4641 Nashville Highway or call us at 364-7888. First Commerce Bank, your first choice for hometown banking, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Moving forward with strong tradition. It's the town's motto, but it holds so true today. The town of Chapel Hill is balancing expanded growth with preserving the small town traditions that make it special. The town's administration and employees would like to take this time to reaffirm their commitment to the citizens of Chapel Hill and to wish the Rockets and Lady Rockets success in their upcoming seasons. From the home of the Lions Super Bowl of the South, the town of Chapel Hill says, "Go Rockets!"
Metcalf 77, the injured Bulldog, as he was not putting any weight on that right foot as he headed to the sideline.
He was not, T-Roy.
3rd down and 4 now for the Rockets. They'll turn and pitch again. Here comes Bell turning the corner. And once again, Noble, getting what you asked for there. That has been very successful tonight. That just turn and quick pitch. Got your tackle guard get out there and block on the corner, and it has been very successful.
Quick hitter, T-Roy. Spence Tankersley did the key thing. Everything was going to be successful if Spence Tankersley was going to be able to come out of his down lineman spot and be able to shift over about 2 steps quickly, and he sealed off the block, and the speed got to the corner that time.
The left tackle, the reigning region MVP amongst the offensive line as they give it coming right again. Bell sheds a tackler, trying to get to the corner, takes on another couple of tacklers, picks up another couple of yards before he is finally wrestled down by about 3 Bulldogs there. Woodard, he also got some help from 81, Bo Schillig again, but that was an excellent job of yards after contact, Noble. Very good job by Bell. About 3 guys had a shot at him, but he fought them off.
that individual effort you speak of with Liam Bell that time, he fought very hard for those last 3 or 4 yards. But I'll tell you what, T-Roy, that 3 yards that he got initially, I got to take my hat off to Gravy Allen. He had a key block in the backfield.
Hill under center. They'll turn this time, give inside. Swift cuts it back outside, gets a block, turns it upfield down to the 20, maybe picked up a couple more before being taken down. And Noble, they have diversified very well offensively here tonight. They have run outside. Now they've gone back inside, mixed in the pass there, really keeping Cornersville right now off balance on the defensive side of the football. Nicely executed game plan here by the Rockets.
Blocking, T-Roy, number 65, Cameron Street, number 77, Spence Tankersley. One kicked out, one kicked in. Excellent job that time running back. Again, the vision that you speak of, T-Roy, these running backs, they showing you everything, not only the intangibles, but they showing you the power that they also have to go along with the speed.
Drive continues as we get close to the 7-minute mark. Swift again being patient as he strung it out left side, waited till he saw a little bit of a lane, got the cut back and picked up a few yards.
Downfield blocking, number 17, T-Roy, Groenveld, and also I seen Gravy Allen down there, T-Roy, and they're doing an excellent job. Anytime you can get a lot of white jerseys 3, 4, 5, 6 yards downfield, then you very well know that the backs that these Forrest Rockets show you every weekend, these guys guaranteed to pick up 4 or 5.
2nd and 5 after the gain of 5. They go back to the ground. Cohen Grissom trying to get up the middle, and that time Cornersville having nothing to do with it. Number 8, Mason Callahan getting in to make the stop. Grissom, who had a wonderful game last week defensively, got a chance to touch it late, took it to the house, 66 yards. He gets a carry here.
I tell you what, T-Roy, that last play, that will humble a running back. And what I mean by that is it shows you exactly what happens if the blocking doesn't take place up front.
Yep. Not a lot of room for Grissom to run that time.
Because we know what Grissom is capable of doing.
3rd and 5. They go back to Swift. Outside now, cutting it back inside, and once again, well defended by the Bulldogs.
They stiffen up on defense, T-Roy. They've gotten down here in the red zone, and they've stiffened up.
So it'll bring up 4th down now for the Rockets, and you've got an excellent weapon in Gavin Grissom, but right here, the Rockets, maybe Coach Stevenson pitching out a little bit of a challenge to his offensive lineman, to his offense. Get this 4 down deep. 4th and 4.
Been having a great deal of running. It's going to be tight inside, T-Roy. Run's going to be right off the guard.
From the 12. Hill backs out. Maybe they just trying to pull Cornersville offsides as the play clock will wind down. They're going to take a timeout.
There you go.
So it will be, I think, Grissom on for the field goal try after this. We'll take timeout. Still 7-0 here in Cornersville.
Funeral home and cremation services had its beginning in 1939 when Thomas H. Lawrence established the business. Lawrence Funeral Home has always strived to provide compassionate, dignified, and professional service to every family it serves, regardless of their circumstances. Lawrence Funeral Home pledges to the families of Marshall and surrounding counties to continue providing excellence in funeral service. In your time of need, our family is there for your family. Lawrence Funeral Home and Cremation Service.
Stop in and visit Mac Equipment, your largest Exmark and Cub Cadet dealer in the state of Tennessee. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Chapel Hill at 109 North Horton Parkway, next to Southern Roots Hair Salon. Mac Equipment offers parts, sales, service, and rental. Their factory-certified technicians also service multiple brands of outdoor power equipment, making this a perfect stop for your future equipment repairs. Don't forget to visit our 2 other locations in Murfreesboro and Louisburg. That's Mac Equipment.
Grissom on for the field goal out of the hold of Matlock. This to give the Rockets a 10-0 lead. Grissom gets into that one, and it is straight and true. G squared nails the field goal attempt from 30 yards away, and the Rockets have taken a 10-0 lead here in Cornersville.
Amigos Mexican Grill is the place you'll find all your authentic favorites, from burritos to enchiladas to sizzling fajitas, all served fast and fresh. Dine in, order online, or call in your order at 364-2222. Also, Amigos has catering services available for your next big occasion as well. Good food, good times at Amigos Mexican Grill, 216 South Horton Parkway. Visit their other locations in Louisburg and Spring Hill. Amigos, proud supporters of the Rockets.
Louisburg Animal Hospital serves the veterinary needs of Marshall County. They've grown to a 4-doctor practice specializing in small animal medicine. They offer advanced medicine, surgery, and nursing care in a personal and relaxed environment with the utmost compassion for their patients. For your pet's grooming and boarding needs, Maggie Rue Pet Retreat and Grooming Salon is located adjacent to the hospital. Call 931-359-5945 to schedule an appointment for your pet.
Grissom to kick it off. Bangs this one long and deep and into the end zone. Touchback, and once again, there is that weapon that is G Square.
Whenever I can see the men inside the 5-yard line, and they don't even go for the ball, they just look up in there. It looked like a center field or somebody. Ball just went over your head, and wasn't any reason to try to go to the warning track to get it. No, nicely done there by Grissom. And once again, Cornersville will start a little deeper in their own territory than they would like here with 5:06 left. And Noble, that possession was a win for both teams. For Cornersville, they stiffened in the red zone, held the Rockets to only 3. But for the Rockets, they did get more points on the board, make it now a 2-score game. Win-win. So, yes, indeed, both teams walk away from that possession feeling as though they came out ahead. Rockets walked away at least with something, and the Bulldogs didn't give up to 7, T-Roy. Now this Bulldog offense trying to get something going. They'll go to the air, pass toward the sideline, incomplete once again over the head of the intended target, Adcox. But good coverage there on the corner, Noble. That's Bryce Tankersley, T-Roy. That's the junior over there doing a fine job of playing out on an island, T-Roy. He's out there in man-to-man coverage, and twice the quarterback has had to throw the ball kind of high because of the pressure in the backfield. Coach Stevenson really likes this young man. Said he just came in with the attitude that I'm going to win a job, and definitely has done so and played well. A little miscommunication now as Woodard trying to hand it off. I'm not sure where the quarterback or running back went the wrong way, but they bumped into each other, and after that, mayhem ensues as the Rockets pursue and take him down. T-Roy, I thought I was watching the National Basketball Association for a second. I got a little acting job over there. They tried to get a flag, tried to get a 15-yard penalty thrown on him that time. Over on the corner? Yes, indeed. The man got up without the ball and act like he got thrown to the ground, T-Roy. So after all of that, it lost a yard. Third down now and 11. 4:20 clock moving here, second quarter in Cornersville. Rockets leading at 10-0. Woodard from the gun, snap a little low. He's straight back to throw. Moves the pocket right, still looking. Fires, pass is incomplete. And Noble, coverage. Nobody to throw to. I only seen 2 wide receivers running routes, T-Roy, so they only released 2 wide receivers, but I seen a lot of white jerseys in the secondary that time. And anytime you can get that many white jerseys and only 2 wide outs, all you need is a little extra time to get those white jerseys up front, down in the front line, to put a little pressure on the quarterback. Now, look at the clock, 4:05 left, second quarter. At this point, you're going to get a short field if you're the Rockets, and for right now, you want to, with the Bulldogs getting the ball first in the second half, put points on the board before halftime. Got a timeout by the Bulldogs. They're going to discuss how they want to kick the ball, T-Roy. That's the only thing they can come up with. 10-0 here in Cornersville.
Eye Care Clinic, Dr. Jeffrey Jordan and his staff offer a wide range of services, including comprehensive eye exams, advanced testing, and eye disease management. Fashion frames from top names like Guess and Kate Spade. They also stay on top of new eye care advances like Vuity and Upneat. And that unique Dr. J touch that always leaves you with a smile until your next visit. Make your appointment at 359-4373. Advanced Eye Care Clinic, 815 East Commerce.
Your one-stop shop to keep your vehicle running smooth is J Automotive. From routine maintenance like oil changes to brake repairs, tires and alignment, and exhaust work as well, J&J has got you covered. They work on gas and diesel engines. Call Vince or Matt Jackson at 931-364-5602 or stop by their location at 1791 Highway 99. Keep your vehicle in tip-top shape at J&J Automotive.
Cale Adcock's good coverage on the punt. Excellent job by the junior of getting down and making the play. Rockets still will get good field position. They'll start 1st and 10 from their own 48. 3:53 left here, second quarter in a 10-0 game. And Noble, I just think right now, if this is a prize fight, Rockets have a chance to land a haymaker right now. They got a chance to make the Bulldogs a little woozy at this point.
I certainly will give you that, T-Roy. I'll certainly give you that. What you're trying to tell me, 17-0 going into the half, could very well be what, a mid-round knockout?
It would definitely get maybe a little bit of a standing 8 count as they give. This time Davis looking for that standing 8 count. He'll break a couple of tackles as he continues to motor toward that Bulldog end zone, finally dragged down in Bulldog territory at the 30-yard line. So Davis continues to impress. I love his running style, Noble. There is nothing subtle about Davis. He comes straight at you.
My man said nothing subtle about him. I tell you what, you better recognize when you see him coming your way. Number 79, Mikey Stoddard, and number 77, Spence Tankersley, both providing key blocks. Spence Tankersley right around the line of scrimmage, Mikey Stoddard about 15 yards downfield.
Stoddard got high praise from Coach Stevenson. When I chatted with him this week, he said Mikey played a wonderful game as Hill throws this time toward the sideline, incomplete. But I like the call, Noble. They're just trying to keep things right now for the Bulldogs, keep them guessing a little bit defensively.
Yes, indeed, T-Roy. They certainly are not predictable. I don't care if you're at home. I don't care if you're broadcasting. I don't care if you're sitting in the stands. The last thing you'll say tonight is that was a predictable offense. You won't say that this evening.
They've run inside. They've gone outside. They've used the threat of the pass here as Hill on 2nd and 10. Plenty of time. 3:08 left here, second quarter. Swift in motion. He'll get it coming left. Gets a good block. And Noble, guard and tackle over on that left side. That was a really nice hole opened up for Swift.
Yes, indeed. Spence Tankersley, he sealed off the inside. And then come Riley Durbin right through the hole, number 61. And then I think I seen Liam Bell right there, number 6, coming through. And T-Roy, all night long you're talking about the running backs. But I got to go ahead and let you know, there's been some big gaping holes they've been able to run through, T-Roy.
Right now they are just trying to put body on body and wear the Bulldogs down. 2:30 left here, second quarter. Straight up the middle they go on the quick hitter. And that's Hill. And something that young man very comfortable and very capable of doing, Noble.
I tell you what, T-Roy, now Ryan Hill, his confidence is going to continue to build. He's able to as you've heard me say several times, you can pat your center on the buttocks and tell him which side you're going through. But all he got to do is look right over in what we used to call old school nose guard and see if they cheating a little bit or see if the linebacker's there, and you can easily pick up 3 or 4 yards on a sneak.
1st and 10, ball placed down at the Bulldogs 16. Under 2 minutes left here, second quarter in a 10-0 game. Hill turns and gives. Back in the game was Davis, who went out limping after his last carry, but he has taken down minimal gain there as he tried to go back inside. Good pursuit on the outside there by the Bulldogs, forced him to cut it back.
Excellent pursuit, T-Roy. He showed the gift that he possessed that time. He had the vision, his head up. We talked about that. But that time he showed the footwork. He had a little hop step to the outside, which allowed him to be able to get positive yards rather than get caught up in that little clutter in the backfield.
Ayers will be your receiver wide left. Man in motion is Yates from right to left. They go back right. Davis now will cut it back inside as once again Cornersville sealed it up on the corner, made him cut it back inside where they had plenty of help awaiting.
He was more than gracious to make them cut it back as well. So he said, I'll take the cut back if it's here. I seen Spence Tankersley, number 77, seal off that time. Excellent job. As you said, they walled it off the Bulldogs. He cut back inside. He's limping a little bit, T-Roy, so he's not at full strength this time.
45 seconds and counting. Hill under center. Give Bell. He will be slamming it forward. Bounces off a tackler, stays on his feet before finally being whistled down.
4 yards before anybody touched him, T-Roy. You can't beat that.
He was a belldozer after he got through the initial hole. He just ran over a couple of guys. They still didn't get him to the turf. Finally were able to blow him dead. 11 seconds left here as the Rockets have a timeout left, and looks like maybe they're just going to play for the field goal here.
It's 4th down, so that's not a bad play. I'll take that, Coach.
4th and 3 from the 9. They're going to try to get points on the board here as they bring G Square in. So once again, Noble, it may not be the 6 that you wanted, but it's definitely points on the board and another possession that you don't come away with nothing.
Exactly. The fact that you do not come away empty-handed. But here's the thing. You putting 13 points up on the board at halftime, and I've only seen the Bulldogs really threaten one time offensively, T-Roy. So take your hat off to the Rockets defense, and it looks like they may not necessarily be somebody you always want to hang your hat on the defense, but 13 points tonight thus far, it looked like it might very well be something this defense can say we can hang our hat on that one.
And think about the fatigue factor. The Bulldogs have not had the ball a lot here in this first half. This offense has been on the field a ton for Chapel Hill here in this first half. That, I think, bodes well for a second half performance from the Rockets.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be one of those early nights in the second half, that knockout you're talking about. So we won't go the whole 12 rounds, and you can forget about that old school heavyweight fight of 15.
Hey, give the Bulldogs credit, though. In the red zone, they have stiffened as Grissom once again kicks this one end over end into the night sky and straight through the uprights. We have reached halftime here in Cornersville, the battle of the North and the South. The Rockets lead it 13-0. We'll return after this.
Hey, there's my girl. Who's that?
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. Ream Heating Equipment was designed to bring affordable comfort to any home. So no matter your budget, we can help you feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Oh, come on! Yes, let's go!
When it's time for a tune-up or a new HVAC system, contact the trusted pros at Clint's Air Care for expert service and installation.
Here at halftime in Cornersville, Forrest leading at 13-0. And I think both teams at halftime are going to have a few things to talk about that they will say, hey, we did some things well here in the first half. There's some things that we would like to improve on. For the Rockets, I think you look at, you got points in 3 possessions. You got a touchdown in 1 and a couple of field goals, 13-0. Defensively, you have right now controlled this Cornersville offense. But for the Bulldogs at halftime, they're going to walk in and say, hey, couple of score game right now. We didn't have the first half that we wanted. We didn't move the football very well, but when they got inside the 20, we stiffened. We kept them to field goals a couple of times. So now it is a 2-score game. If we come out and execute our game plan like we want to in the second half, then for them, hey, we feel like we got a chance.
T-Roy, I want to go back to something you said a second ago. The Bulldogs had one successful drive where they were running the ball at will. But I don't know necessarily that I want to give the Rockets defense a lot of credit. What I mean is this. I don't mean it from a negative standpoint. What I mean is I don't think the Rockets defense has had to play very often tonight. So I'm going to take my hat off to the offense of the Rockets in time of possession. So as a result of the time of possession, they have not had to ask the Rockets defense to do too much. But I will say this about the Rockets defense. What looked like last week, a questionable secondary, certainly doesn't look like something to question tonight.
You have to think, too, as a Rocket fan, and you always want to look in situations like that where you're put into some adversity. You lose Birch, who picked off, I think, 3 passes last year. He's a stalwart back there in the back end of your defense. He's a quarterback back in there in secondary. You lose him, you're forced to scramble. This coaching staff did a really nice job of finding the pieces and then knowing this week, hey, we don't have Birch available to us. Let's get these guys that are going to have to play, let's get them in practice this week, get them some reps, and help them to feel comfortable, which they have done here tonight. The practice has definitely turned into what you want to see performance-wise on the field, so we'll give them credit for that.
Yes, indeed, and I'll give credit. I seen Tatum Swift doing a fine job in the secondary. I think I also, if I recall correctly, I seen number 21 also, Levi Van Patten, doing a fine job in the secondary, free safety area. But I want to one more time have you help me out, T-Roy. It's the junior, Bryce Tankersley, number 16, out there by himself on the island. That young man there, he looked like he won't necessarily need any help playing cornerback.
Hey, we got to see Micah just a little bit ago. He's down on the field as they await the Rockets coming out here at halftime, and what a sight for Rocket fans last week. As there's Birch and Micah down there in their respective wheelchairs, but you know, he goes out onto the field. What a story with Brenton Burchell and Micah McClendon, the two friends, and Birch has been there right by his side through thick and thin. And to be able to see Micah come out last week and go out and check on his injured friend and provide him some comfort, that was a really nice story last week for the Rockets. As we've got here at halftime, we've got a little bit of a break. Let's take another timeout, and then we'll return with more here in Cornersville after this.
You can't have it all. At Brooks Grocery, they've got farm fresh fruits and vegetables, a deli with a selection of freshly prepared favorites, Brooks specialties like Ava's pimento cheese and Adam's chicken salad, freshly made pies, cakes, and desserts. And who could possibly forget the best meat department you'll find anywhere? Great selection, online ordering, and friendly customer service. Brooks Grocery, the place you'll find your next favorite food.
Chapel Hill Family Dentistry has been serving the oral care needs of Chapel Hill and the surrounding area since 2006. They're a general and cosmetic dental practice dedicated to improving your smile and the overall oral health of you and your entire family. Their goal was to provide superior quality health care in a comfortable environment. Call and schedule your appointment today at 364-4557. That's Dr. William Bell and the Chapel Hill Dentistry staff, proud supporters of the Forest Rockets.
In case you're just tuning in, and I hate when people say in case you're just tuning in, because where else would you have been, right? So it's 13-0, Forest Rockets on top of Cornersville Bulldogs. It's halftime, about 10 minutes remaining before we start the third quarter. I have my man, Mr. Statistician, Mr. Ricky Sweeney here. I'm going to let him update us on some Rockets offense and some Bulldog offense, and you'll be able to know why it's 13-0 when everything's finished.
Very good. Thank you, Nova. Appreciate that. First half stats, Rockets rushed it 26 times for 148 yards, passing 1 of 2 tonight for 15 yards. So total offense in the first half for your Forest Rockets is 163 yards of total offense on 28 offensive plays. Cornersville Bulldogs rushed it 10 times for 52 yards, didn't complete a pass. 0 for 6. Good job on the Rocket secondary tonight. 0 for 6 passing tonight. 52 yards of offense for the Bulldogs, all of it coming on the ground. Only 16 offensive plays, Nova, in the first half. 16 offensive plays won't get you much in a ball game like this. So it's 28 plays for the Rockets, 16 for the Bulldogs. Yardage 163 to 52. And individually now for your Rockets, Ryan Hill, 2 carries for -3. Chris Davis, great first half for Chris, 7 carries for 55 yards. He had a 6-yard touchdown run. Tatum Swift, great steady first half for him, 9 carries for 74 yards. Liam Bell, 6 carries for 21 in the first half for Liam. For your Cornersville Bulldogs, your Cornersville fans, Ben Franklin, 5 carries for 33 yards. Blaine Woodard, the quarterback, 5 carries for 19. So not a lot of offense for the Bulldogs in the first half. the Rocket defense outstanding as we go in that first half. So they've got to keep doing what they're doing, and everything looks good for the Rockets.
And Mr. Sweeney, if you will, I got 3 running backs who apparently have the bulk of it of the offense. I got them 150 yards. One more time for the folks at home. Chris Davis, how many yards he had? Swift and Bell, how many yards?
Right. Chris Davis, 7 for 55. Tatum Swift, 9 for 74. And Liam Bell, 6 for 21.
That's 150 yards amongst the 3 of them.
Yeah.
And Troy and I were talking, Mr. Sweeney, and we were trying to talk about how special this offense has been in time of possession. And you just came and you spoke about 28 plays for the Forrest Rockets and only 16 for the Bulldogs.
And that last drive, I marked that down a moment ago, the field goal before the one ending the half, that was a Rocket drive of 12 plays, 59 yards, took 7 minutes and 22 seconds off the clock.
And
that's pretty good
yes,
ball
indeed.
control.
And Troy was talking about this Bulldogs not having a lot of depth, and you have drives with 7 minutes and 22 seconds. And to end the half, that's kind of deflating for a team who has not put any points on the board, Mr. Sweeney.
Yeah, you can't. If you don't have the ball, it's hard to score. So the Rocket defense doing their job, and of course the offense, ball control tonight, great job. Great scheme by the coaches here in the first half.
And I was talking to Troy, Mr. Sweeney, the offense of the Rockets, somewhat versatile tonight. I've been impressed. The 2 pass attempts that I recall that Hill had in the past, maybe not necessarily, even though one of them was 3rd down, 3rd and 4, I believe, when they had the pass to, I think it was to Davis, had the pass to Davis. In the past, that hadn't always been predictable. It hadn't always necessarily been a passing situation.
Has not.
And then, yes, indeed. So 15-yard Davis catch on 3rd down. First down they got there. And where I'm trying to lead to is the pulling guards I've seen a couple times and the running backs getting to the edge. Not a whole lot of misdirection and running straight up the gut tonight.
That's what the Rockets live by, and they're going to continue to do it in the second half, I guess. Of course, you'll always have adjustments on both sides. I know Corners is going to make some, and Rockets will make some. But yeah, just like I said earlier before the game started, I told Troy, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And Troy and I was having that same conversation. I think it's a heavy dose of pulling guard and running wide with the speed again second half, because that was certainly working in the first quarter.
Yeah, Tatum Swift, out of his 9 carries, 3 of those were double-digit first down carries. He had one for 12, 17, and 13. Pretty good running there by Tatum. Not to get in the end zone, but just doing he got the weight on his shoulders, and he don't mind carrying it.
Yes, indeed. Defense. I talked to Troy about the secondary, done stiffen up a little bit. Yes, indeed. Most of the passes that I've seen has been thrown over the head of the wide receiver. And as you said there, 0 for 6 is what the Bulldogs are in the passing game.
That's because the Rockets' coverage are sticking like glue tonight. Now, that's a pleasant surprise on my part. I love to see the secondary play good. It hadn't always been that way.
It has not. And Troy and I were talking. Not only has it not always been that way, but they had a short week in order to replace Burchell.
Yes.
And then make some adjustments from what we seen last week and plus what we seen in the Jamboree. So excellent job in a short amount of time to be able to stiffen up that back end of the secondary.
They did put those pieces of the puzzle back right where they needed to put them.
Mr. Ricky Sweeney, we certainly appreciate you bringing all the stats to us. We got about 4 minutes and some change left before we get ready for the third quarter. At this time, we're going to thank some of our fine sponsors.
This broadcast on TC Sports 1 brought to you by Advanced Eye Care Clinic, home of the real Dr. J, Dr. Jeffrey Jordan. By Amigos Mexican Grill, authentic Mexican cuisine. By Apex Bank, a top performer amongst Tennessee community banks. By Benchmark Physical Therapy, where they'll get you back in the game. By Brooks Grocery, where you'll find your next favorite food. Also brought to you by Dr. William Bell at Chapel Hill Family Dentistry. By Quince Air Care, your local ring dealer. By Farm Bureau Insurance, auto, life, health, and homeowners. By First Commerce Bank, your first choice for hometown banking. We're brought to you by Highway 99 Storage, now with climate control units. By J Automotive, your one-stop auto shop. By Lawrence Funeral Home and Cremation Services, serving since 1939. By Louisburg Animal Hospital, your other family doctor. By Mac Equipment, your local Cub and Exmark dealer. And by the town of Chapel Hill, moving forward with strong tradition.
And we return here at halftime, 13-0 Rockets. And thanks again, Mr. Ricky Sweeney, Mr. Noble Mays here at halftime, giving us some analysis and some stats as we get set for both teams to make their way back onto the field for the second half. And Noble, I just kind of feel like for the Rockets, you just feel like it's a bludgeoning at this point. They have just come out and really tried to be physical, just hammer on the Bulldogs and really try to wear them down. I think that was one of the things last week was, hey, we want to exploit our depth. And they have set the stage for that here in the second half. Time of possession greatly in favor of the Rockets in the first half. They had a lot of offensive plays. They did put 13 points on the board, but you have to think maybe where those plays that maybe Cornersville getting up on the corner, making a stop, maybe they get there, maybe in the second half, maybe some of the fatigue begins to settle in, and maybe they are ending up with the Rockets getting a little more of a push up front, getting a little better block on the corner. Now for the Bulldogs, you come out here in the second half, you've got to get your offense started. They have not been able to complete a pass in the first half. That's something that they are going to want to do, and I think one of the things that they really thought maybe quite possibly they could do with a Rocket secondary missing Brenton Burchell, that's something that they haven't been able to do that they're going to have to be able to do in the second half if they've got any hope here of making a comeback in the second half.
Everything you said, formula works for the Forrest Rockets, T-Roy. 0 for 6 for the Bulldogs in the passing game. So, as you said, Burchell being able to be replaced, not easily replaceable. We talked about it last week. That next man up mentality, that's kind of an insult to Burchell or anyone who's in a starting position, but the Rockets have pulled it off tonight. But here's what I want to highlight. Offense. 52 yards total offense for the Bulldogs. But here's what I want to focus on. 5.7 yards per carry for the Forrest Rockets. And that has been the significant difference in why they was able to put together a 7 minutes and 22 second drive to end in the first half, with G Squared finishing off with a field goal. G Squared got 6 points of his own and then an extra point, so he got 7 points. G Squared, he's the leading scorer in the game. But again, let's highlight that 5.7 yards per carry. Tatum Swift and Davis, along with Bale, those guys have 150 yards of total offense.
Second half coming your way next here on TC.
Hey, there's my girl. Hey, there's my girl. Who's that?
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. Ream Heating Equipment was designed to bring affordable comfort to any home. So no matter your budget, we can help you feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Oh, come on! Yes, let's go!
When it's time for a tune-up or a new HVAC system, contact the trusted pros at Clint's Air Care for expert service and installation.
Rockets looking for more of the same here in the second half. 13-0, they lead it, and they have been able to impose their will along the front, and that's something that Cornersville is going to have to try to counter here in the second half. But once again, the reports, that we got from watching the film last week against Richland, that second half, the Raiders few more bodies than the Bulldogs, maybe a little better depth, and that's one of the things the Rockets pride themselves on this year. They've been able to build a deeper team this year. They want to make sure here they're going to put the extra helmet on you, extra pad on you in the second half and try to impose their will.
Significant difference, T-Roy. 2 field goals is what the Rockets had to settle for in the first half.
Right.
Based upon what you're describing, the Bulldogs fatigue will set in, those field goals no longer will be settled for. They'll turn into touchdowns in the second half.
That's what the Rockets, that's what their plan is here. And, of course, you know, you would have preferred it be 21-0 here at the half if you want to be greedy about it. But they'll take 13 at this point. They're putting, you know, you put points on the board in each possession, you're happy with that. They got 3 possessions in the first half where they got points on the board. You feel like if you can put points on the board in each possession, you're going to win games. And so they put themselves in a good spot here in the second half. Defense is playing well, and hopefully that's the recipe for 2-0.
I think T-Roy, not quite a complete game, but I'm going to ask Mr. Ricky Sweeney to check with me. I think other than that one drive where the Rockets kept kind of penalizing themselves, they played a pretty clean game on offense other than that one drive where they had a couple little penalties. They had 3 penalties, and I think they was all on the same drive. I could be wrong.
Yeah, clean football, fellas. This coaching staff expects this group to play clean football and be disciplined. This staff is very disciplined. They want these players to be disciplined, and they talk about teams becoming an image of their coaching staff. This coaching staff is steady. They're not going to wow you with a lot of flash. They're going to be there every day. They're going to grind. They're going to do what they do and do it well. That's the mentality. They've got that lunch bucket mentality. They're going to bring it every day. This team is kind of a reflection of that. We're going to bring it to you. We're going to bring it to you for the full time we're out on this field, and so far they've done that.
I'll tell you what, T-Roy, what that tells me is don't be surprised if you see them go back to that little sweep game that they were playing in the first quarter. Expect them to go wide. Even Miss Sharon, she's watching the same game I'm watching, and she said those young men had a great deal of success in the first quarter. Pulling guard, going out there. I think Cameron Orr, number 56, if I have him correctly, number 56, Cameron Orr, did a fine job of pulling, and then a running back would also go out there and lead block. I think there'd be a heavy dose of that going on in the second half, and here's what I predict. This time, instead of short yardage and big yards, 10 or 15, they're going to break one of those. They'll break one of those in the second half. You calculate that fatigue you're talking about, and you calculate the fact that they'll go in there and they'll keep pounding and they'll keep running on both sides, that little pulling guard and the sweep. I think you'll see one of those. It'll bust for a big run. I'm gonna put them down for a 40-plus yard bust run.
Quite an intimate setting here at Frog Bottom here in Cornersville, Tennessee. As we're close on the field, we've got that intimate shot for you here tonight as Miss Sharon Peter bringing us our camera work here this evening. Thank her once again for helping us out here as the Rockets get set to kick it off to begin this second half. G squared bangs it deep. This one returnable from the 5. Up the left sideline, cutting it back and eluding a couple of would-be tacklers, and a nice return for the Bulldogs. That was 12, Joshua Bennett, the sophomore, on the return. So it gives the Bulldogs some of their better starting field position here tonight. And Noble, I was about to say before the kickoff, if you're the Bulldogs, you come out here and execute, you score on this series. You make it 13-7, you're like, man, hey, 6-point game and we haven't played that well. All kinds of confidence on your side.
I like it, T-Roy, and you keep the game interesting and you keep the Bulldogs in it. I want to throw a little caveat in that. What about if the Rockets have the first turnover of the game on this defensive drive here? Then what does that do?
I think that kind of reinforces what you want to see happen if you're a Forrest fan. You want this team to come out and take that step where they can dominate a game. Cornersville with it. Franklin to the right side. They'll bring him with the carry. Coming back left. He'll pick up a few before being escorted out of bounds, and a good job of setting the edge over there is Ayers, who played very well when Burchell went down. He came in and really solidified that corner position, came up, made a nice tackle on Franklin there.
T-Roy, I'm not sure exactly how much time he got in practice maybe 3 weeks ago, but I tell you what, he secured a spot, as you said. He came in, he's earned the right to be on this right corner here, and I was highly impressed with the young man last week.
Once again, though, give Franklin credit. He got 7 out of that. As he got to the corner, used his physicality, picked up a couple of extra yards, puts Cornersville in good short down and distance here. Woodard, the quarterback keeper, and that time up front, the Rockets fighting off the blocks. That was big Reggie Pearson, and he got some help. Let's see who the other Rocket was.
I think that
was
Yates.
24, Yates, yes.
Yes, indeed. In the backfield that time and causing a little havoc that time. But as you said, Pearson also in with Yates. But that's exactly what you're looking for from this defense, T-Roy. I know you asked if the Bulldogs can go down and score, but what if this defense? Because this defense is well rested for the Rockets too, T-Roy.
Fought off the blocker, found the football. Now 3rd down and 2. This is a big one. Oh, bad snap between the legs of the quarterback. He'll get back there and fall on it, but that is a big win for the Rocket defense.
Spence Tanksley, I thought that was it, my man. I thought that was going to be the turnover we were looking for. I tell you what, T-Roy, I'm going to give credit because here's what I like.
Jesse Lindemann was right back there with him.
Yes, indeed. Those are some big men back there, getting back there in a hurry to get on top of that ball. And the quarterback, he made a wise choice of Woodard just falling on the ball and saving the possession, giving him an opportunity to punt the ball.
Houston Matlock to return the punt. He is in single safety back at the Rocket 35-yard line. Rockets should get good starting field position here. Snap is good, kick angling away. Matlock will call for and make the fair catch at the 36. So that's where the Rockets will take over for their first offensive surge here in the second half. And Noble, I feel like right now, statement. If you're the Rockets, you want to be a team that people take seriously, that you're going to be a semifinal contender, that you can make a run to get out of the West. These are the kind of games and these are the kind of situations where you've got to come out and impose your will on what you feel like should be an inferior opponent.
Well, I tell you what, impose their will, inferior opponent, here's what I anticipate. Count how many runs consecutive for this drive.
Turn, give. Here comes Davis, and there is what we expected to see, but he lost the football. I think the Rockets do get it back.
Yes, they own it. T-Roy, they got it.
It came out late, but it squirted right into the hands, I believe, of Swift.
You don't have to believe, T-Roy. That's who has the ball. Coming up, number 2, Rockets. Everything is white tonight. Yes, indeed.
But Noble, look where the blocking was in that surge off the line of scrimmage. White jerseys pushing those black jerseys backward.
They're picking up where they left off at, T-Roy. That's why I wanted you to count the consecutive runs, T-Roy. When you talk about imposing your will, that means you have a desire to run the ball, and nothing's going to stop you from doing that. So let's see how strong the desire is to run the ball.
Lindemann now will motion from right to left. 2nd down and 5. Give straight up the middle. That time, Cornersville winning the battle up front as they will take down Bell in a little extracurricular activity. Bell wants the flag, but the official having none of it.
Number 19, Blake Estes, he did exactly what you're supposed to do. He got as low as you can possibly get, and that's how you bring a big fella like Bell down. You got to get very low.
Give the Bulldogs credit there. They filled the hole really nicely. Gain of only 1 for Bell, and he did good to hold on to the football there.
He certainly did, because he met Estes right at the point of contact, and I missed the other little fella. I think that was number 77. I could be wrong. Metcalf back in the game, who might have also helped out that time with Estes.
3rd down and 4. Once again, Lindemann will motion left to right. He'll settle in wing right as they will give Swift coming back left. Got a blocker, cuts it back inside, picks up his 1st down into Cornersville territory before finally being taken down at the 46, and that was Peyton Swift. Noble, he got just enough of a crease, and as you said earlier, great vision, great cutback, picked up a 1st down.
T-Roy, anybody who's watching the game already knows the young man has the power, he has the speed. You throw in all those intangibles with the vision that he had. I think it was Gravy Allen who provided a key block. I thought that was going to be that 40-plus run I was talking about where they actually break one.
1st and 10 in Bulldog territory. Pitch, Bell. Coming left, that time Cornersville awaiting his arrival. Schillig has played a nice game. He's there once more for the Bulldogs as he was over on the corner before Bell ever got there.
He was, and Schilling, in my report, T-Roy, they don't have the height and the weight, but he's a nice-sized young man there. For this level of ball, playing for this level of ball, Bo Schilling is a nice-sized young man.
Hey, make no mistake about it. They're going to be still a force to be reckoned with in single A. They're going to win their share of games. You just hope that the Rockets, one of them is not at your expense.
Well, there you go, T-Roy. Rockets certainly have proven themselves thus far to be the superior team tonight anyway.
2nd and 10. Davis running hard, sheds a couple of tacklers, takes on a couple more before finally being stood up as he will reach down to the 42-yard line. Pickup of 3. It'll still be 3rd and long now. 3rd down and 7 upcoming. And once again, Noble, I feel like here, 2-down territory.
And here's where you start doing exactly what you said, T-Roy. I could be wrong in my number. I think that was either number 6 or number 7. I could be off maybe 7 consecutive runs. There's no one in this stadium on either side, I believe, who believe that a pass is going to happen here on this drive.
3rd down and 7. Ayers, wide right, single receiver that side. Fake, heel with the keeper. Nicely done. 35 to the 30. Lost the football. Will they say he's down, or will Cornersville get the recovery? Heel's going to say he's down. Officials say no. Fumble on the play, and the first turnover of the game is a big one. It goes to Cornersville.
I don't think Hill gets the official word on that, T-Roy, so they're calling it a fumble, and it stalls the drive that time. But I tell you what, T-Roy, I got to take my hat off to the coaching staff, my man.
Excellent play.
Run, and then they run the naked bootleg that time, my man. That is beautiful play calling. I love it.
Nicely done. You didn't get the result on the fumble that you wanted, but the play call really nice at that time.
Yes, indeed, T-Roy.
And I think maybe getting a little bit more comfortable in the offensive play calling role. Coach Stevenson, former offensive lineman, but, of course, you know, he's been a defensive guy early on, so he's taking the reins, getting comfortable on the offensive side. That was a nice play call.
I like the calls he's making tonight.
Franklin with the carry, shedding a couple of tacklers. He gets outside. Franklin trying to turn on the Jets. One man to beat down the sideline. Franklin to the 30, to the 25. A stiff arm. Down the sideline, he continues, stays in bounds, and he will score. Ben Franklin shows you why he is one of the premier backs, not only in single A, but in the state of Tennessee. An 85-yard touchdown scamper, and the Bulldogs are right back in it at 13-6.
It was a foot race for about 35 yards, T-Roy, and then Ben Franklin got somewhere inside the 30-yard line, and he was one-on-one, and the defender for the Rockets had an angle, and Ben Franklin made a stutter step at the sideline, and he allowed the Rocket to go right by him, T-Roy, and then he put it back in third gear, and the rest of it he took it on straight on to the house.
How about the stiff arm at about the 20, Noble?
And yes, indeed, T-Roy, and that was that little stutter step there that time. Excellent job of pausing and not going out of bounds and not being tackled.
Palmer on for the point after try, this to make it a 6-point ball game, and all of a sudden, Noble, we talked about it, big play for the Bulldogs. They're right back in it.
You talked about it, T-Roy.
Bad snap. Running around back here, Callahan, he's looking to throw, and he'll finally be taken down. Swift doing the honors. The point after try is no good. We got a 13-6 ball game now, and this one is what many people expect in a rivalry game. Tight halfway through the third quarter.
You can't have it all. At Brooks Grocery, they've got farm fresh fruits and vegetables, a deli with a selection of freshly prepared favorites, Brooks specialties like Ava's pimento cheese and Adam's chicken salad, freshly made pies, cakes, and desserts, and who could possibly forget the best meat department you'll find anywhere. Great selection, online ordering, and friendly customer service. Brooks Grocery, the place you'll find your next favorite food.
Chapel Hill Family Dentistry has been serving the oral care needs of Chapel Hill and the surrounding area since 2006. They're a general and cosmetic dental practice dedicated to improving your smile and the overall oral health of you and your entire family. Their goal was to provide superior quality health care in a comfortable environment. Call and schedule your appointment today at 364-4557. That's Dr. William Bell and the Chapel Hill Dentistry staff, proud supporters of the Forrest Rockets.
And as we return, I want to make a quick clarification. Everybody, I talked about going to our YouTube channel, checking out the game. Had some difficulties in getting the files transferred over to our YouTube channel. You can still go back and watch the game. That's the main thing on the site. It is still available, and want to thank the great folks, Mr. Fred D. Haley, Mr. Clinton Moore, there at Marshall County Internet Service. They are great. They have designed the website. We're going to have a few more expansions of the website here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to, as we said, we're going to crawl before we walk. We're going to have a few more wrinkles that we're going to break out, not only on the website, but of course through the game as well. Some things we're going to do a little bit differently, maybe bring you a few more things. So I want to thank you for your patience, and I want to thank the great folks at Marshall County Internet System or Service for all their help.
One more time, Troy, you have given us a life lesson. Everything you just described about where we're headed to with the broadcast, evolution, my man, just like life, growing. Every week gonna bring them something new, my man. So stay tuned, stay locked in, and just like you're supposed to do every day of your life, supposed to try something new, learn something new. So that's what we're gonna bring to you every week, something new, something innovative.
Well, we got a brand new ball game, 13-6 with 6:13 left here in the third quarter. Noble, all it takes, one big play, and Ben Franklin comes to the forefront, gets his team right back in it. Now, how do the Rockets respond?
And here's what's interesting about it, T-Roy. We kept thinking that the big play was going to come from the Rockets, T-Roy, but it ended up coming from the Bulldogs in the name of Ben Franklin.
And the Rockets will start a little further back. A legal procedure backs them up 5, and not the way you want to start this drive.
That's how things kind of spiral, T-Roy. I tell you what, you start to notice one sideline becomes a little quiet, the other sideline got something to be excited about, and I tell you what, I know human nature says these young men feed off of that kind of stuff.
Hey, you get to play the David role if you're Cornersville. You lick your chops every year. They used to be in the same classification, now Forrest 2A. So, you know what? Hey, we can still play with you. 13-6 ball game. They're right in it, and here comes Swift. Swift tries to get to the outside, and Noble, nothing doing. Bulldogs were right there. They are re-energized, and right now the Rockets are going to have to go back and have a gut check.
Look at the defense, T-Roy. Look at them. They high-fiving each other, slapping each other upside the head. That's that energy I'm talking about. And you keep talking about fatigue. You don't get tired when you have that kind of adrenaline and emotion running through you.
Right. Right now, if you're the Rockets, you've got to just say, look, we're going to come out here. We are going to do what we do. You are not going to stop us. We're going to execute our blocks, and we're going to go back to being physical and winning at the line of scrimmage. That's how we win this game. Now, right now, Cornersville, with the energy, as you said, Noble, they're getting to the football. 2nd and 16. This time they keep it safe, try to go up the middle, and there is nothing doing. Metcalf, who was injured early, he got a big handful of jersey, and he got plenty of help from his teammates. And Noble, that was a little conservative right there. You kind of want them, as you said, go for those corners, maybe mix it up a little bit. They've used a little bit more speed outside. Here they keep it safe, and Cornersville makes them pay.
And T-Roy, I'm going to feed off of what you just gave me. I hope I'm wrong. With the play we just seen that was conservative, looking at the down and distance, they're going to even be more conservative right now.
3rd down and 20 facing the Rockets. We're under 5 minutes left here in the third. 4:40 and counting.
And again, I hope I'm incorrect, but I think they're going to be even more conservative on this play, T-Roy.
On their own side, they'll go inside scissor. First time we've seen that. Not a whole lot going on there, Noble, as Cornersville equal to the challenge. And Noble, Big Mo right now is settled firmly on the shoulders of the Cornersville Bulldogs. Eli Bell, the freshman, getting the carry, and Bulldogs now have a chance to tie this one up or take the lead. Who would have thought that?
They got the bells shaking over there. Have you heard bells over there all night? I don't remember hearing many bells over there. They shaking them now, though.
You got it. It's amazing what a big play will do for you.
Isn't it, T-Roy? They came with the bell, but I didn't know they had one.
How important are those 2 field goals that they held the Rockets to in the first half?
Enormous, T-Roy, immense.
Great punt by Grissom. High and coming up and taking it on the run at the 45 is Callahan, but a good job by Grissom. Gave his coverage plenty of time to get down there.
Take me back to the field goals. Here's what the field goals will do, T-Roy. Just in case. the Bulldogs happen to get the game a little closer, you still are within a G-squared field goal from being able to take the lead with those 2 field goals on the board.
Yeah, and you know, you think about that. Now, there's going to be a couple of different schools of thought. One school of thought is, look, you should have had 3 touchdowns in the first half. We should be coasting right here, and if you fumble the football down here earlier, you're cruising in for 28-0. Now, you're looking at it as we got 2 field goals. They stayed in the game, big play, and here we are at 13-6.
And I'm going to look at the reality of it, T-Roy. It's 13-6. They still in the game.
Mm-hmm. Very much in the game and very much energized as they go now. Franklin, they try to come back, and it's knocked away. Bell got a hand in there, and I think the Rockets got it.
I think the Rockets do have it, sir.
Hey, you can't blame the Bulldogs there. All eyes in the house on Franklin. They try to go reverse with the pitch, but the Rockets stay in their lanes. Bell does a nice job of punching it away, and who got it?
That was none other than number 61, Riley Durbin. What do you call him?
Manimal.
There you go. Now, I got to give credit to Liam Bell, T-Roy. 6'1", 195-pound junior. He provided the hit that released that ball and got it loose. And T-Roy, this is what you call a game changer. Now you got a different crowd, got excited and back into the game.
You're on the Cornersville side of the field, too, at the 30. Hill will roll. Looked like he wanted to throw, but he ran into Metcalf. Big loss on the play, and right now, the Cornersville defense really making the Rocket offense look a little disjointed right now.
Somebody missed an assignment, T-Roy. I'm always going to side with the quarterback. I always assume that the quarterback always knows where he's going. Somebody either missed the block or they missed some direction or something took place that time.
Noble deep in the third quarter now. 3 minutes left here in the third. A one-score game at 13-6. Loss of 7 on the play, second down and 17. Now, we go back to what you were talking about earlier. Do you go conservative here?
I don't want to see it. That 7 that they lost throws them off schedule with the sticks, T-Roy.
Pitch coming outside now, back inside. They get Davis back in there, and Noble, they are not finding any running lanes up front. There is plenty of black jerseys coming to the football.
T-Roy, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Your freshman quarterback, let's put the ball in there, T-Roy. Let's put the ball in there.
Right now, Bulldogs pretty much, as we're seeing, they're selling out to the run.
They have sold out, T-Roy. If they were selling homes, the whole neighborhood has been sold, T-Roy. and they have sold out.
Third down and 17 now. And, Noble, we're not advocating throwing it down into the end zone up for grabs. Just a little swing out of the backfield, something just to kind of to change the pace a little bit.
Bring me the same play you threw the ball to Chris Davis in the first half. Just take it to the other side of the field.
Coach Stevenson, big play here for the Rockets. They'll take a timeout and talk it over. 2 minutes exactly remaining here in the third. Barn burner here in Cornersville.
This broadcast on TC Sports 1 brought to you by Advanced Eye Care Clinic, home of the real Dr. J, Dr. Jeffrey Jordan. By Amigos Mexican Grill, authentic Mexican cuisine. By Apex Bank, a top performer amongst Tennessee community banks. By Benchmark Physical Therapy, where they'll get you back in the game. By Brooks Grocery, where you'll find your next favorite food. Also brought to you by Dr. William Bell at Chapel Hill Family Dentistry. By Clint's Air Care, your local ring dealer. By Farm Bureau Insurance, auto, life, health, and homeowners. By First Commerce Bank, your first choice for hometown banking. We're brought to you by Highway 99 Storage, now with climate control units. By J Automotive, your one-stop auto shop. By Lawrence Funeral Home and Cremation Services, serving since 1939. By Louisburg Animal Hospital, your other family doctor. By Mac Equipment, your local Cub and Exmark dealer. And by the town of Chapel Hill, moving forward with strong tradition.
Let's see what the Rockets have in store now.
T-Roy, the beautiful thing about it, down in possession and where they're at, you don't need all 17 now, T-Roy. Give me about 10 or 11 yards maybe on a pass, and then you can be flexible with what you want to do on fourth down, Coach Stevenson.
Then you think about G-Square being a big weapon because you can go back to a two-score game then.
Give me 9 or 10 on this play right here. I'll take 9 or 10 on this play.
Ball spotted down at the 37-yard line. Noble, if you say that correctly, you get 9, get down to the 28. They'll set it down at the 35. It'll make it a 45-yard field goal, which would be within Grissom's range.
That changes the whole scenario as well. That changes the formula as well, T-Roy.
And Noble, that's when you're happy you've got number 4 standing on your sideline.
You have a weapon, T-Roy. You have a weapon. And in the whole state of Tennessee, G-squared is a weapon, my man. He could go play on any team in the state of Tennessee and got a starting position.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else be trying to figure out who's second on the depth chart.
Hill under center. One receiver split wide left. The back is Bell. Hill rolls to throw. He'll fire it down the field. Man back there. Did he catch it? The Rocket fans are saying yes, Noble. We had a C in front of us. I'm judging by all those hands that went up that we did make a good play there.
I'm judging also by the center fielder, the official. He just placed the ball down at the hash mark, but I have to assume this top shelf over in the stands here, everybody stood up and they started ringing their bells as well. So, hey, T-Roy.
That was huge.
Coach pulled it out, put the balls in the hand of the freshman. Let's tell the folks at home, let's be clear. As this evolution of Ryan Hill, 5'9", 150-pound freshman, this young man here is evolving before your eyes in the second game of the season. Come up big when he needed to.
31-yard pass play. First and goal at the 6. Back inside, scissor handoff, trying to get outside, breaking a couple of tackles, getting inside and getting into the end zone. I believe it was the freshman Bell.
Eli Bell, you said it, none other. 5'11", 150-pound, number 22, Eli Bell. T-Roy, he showed some good footwork. He did not go down when he tripped up a little bit, kept his balance. Young man has nice balance and kept his head up and got into the end zone. And as a result of that, T-Roy, I let you tell the folks at home what he just changed to what he did to the scoreboard.
Eli just rings the bell from 6 yards away, and that's a big one. 19-6 now in favor of the Rockets with the point after try coming from Gavin Grissom.
Just 2 plays prior, T-Roy, it was 3rd and 17, and you were wondering if we were going to kick a field goal, incomplete pass, or what may transpire.
Hey, he'll fit that in a super tight window, and Noble, what made it more impressive, he was rolling to his right as he threw it. Grissom just hammers this one all the way to Louisburg where it will land. It's a 26 ball game now with 1:09 left here in the third. We'll be back on TC Sports 1 after these commercial messages.
Don't know what I would do without you to show me the way and the truth. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you. If I didn't have you.
Your local agents, Scott Bond and Troy Cashin. Are you moving to the area and need a place to store your possessions? Are you trying to declutter your existing space or needing a place to park your boat, RV, truck, trailer, or camper? There's a simple solution. It's Highway 99 Storage. Conveniently located off Highway 99 and James King Road, it's a lighted, secure, and fenced-in area to keep your valuables safe. New units available with climate control. Call 364-5678 to rent. That's Highway 99 Storage.
Good look at that Rocket coaching staff as they are directing the players here as they take a 14-point lead at 20-6. 1:09 left here in the third. And Noble, how quickly a game change. We've had a lot of ebbs and flows here tonight.
Third quarter has been a shift, T-Roy, going one way and then back the other.
The return is trying to get what he can out to about the 25-yard line. Noble, it looked like for a few moments the return might be a little larger than it was, but the Rockets did a good job of covering that kick. As, let's see, I think it was, wasn't it with the return there?
I missed it, T-Roy. I was kind of, my vantage point, I was kind of blocked over here.
I thought it might have been Estes. I couldn't tell. I thought it was 19, but I'll apologize if it wasn't. Like I say, sometimes we've got a little bit more of a difficult vantage point here, so I'll apologize if I missed that one.
Tell you what, T-Roy, those lane assignments, as you said, it did look for a brief moment that it could be a little bigger return than that, but white jersey stayed within their lane assignment. As a result of that, now the Rockets have a chance to play big defense.
Now can the Bulldogs respond? Quarterback keeper here as Woodard gets outside. Noble, the big play, of course, the 85-yarder by Franklin. And they're going to need another one from him here tonight if they want to get back in this one.
Yes, they will, T-Roy, and you would hope that the Rockets would be able to contain him. He got his one big one, but hopefully they learned a lesson. You don't want that fella to get to that second level, T-Roy. That's a case of two things going wrong for you. One is the speed and the power, but that's a whole lot of young man there.
Second down and 9. They go back to the ground and football loose. That time the Rockets did a good job of separating the football. I think it was Franklin who got it back. He was trying to run on that left side, big number 70 over there, McKelty Ford, the sophomore. He's kind of a human eclipse, Noble. That's a big young man.
And I think we end of the quarter, T-Roy.
3 in the books here. One more remaining here in Cornersville. The battle of the North and South. Right now the Rockets lead it 20-6.
Know that with Apex Banking Online, you can access your accounts, pay bills, and send money to friends and family anytime. Our online banking feature gives you the advantage of secure banking right from anywhere. With our mobile app and online services, banking has never been more convenient. We're here to serve you wherever you go. Visit us in Chapel Hill or call 931-246-7105. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Joseph Fowler and his outstanding staff are dedicated to providing the most effective, clinically superior physical therapy humanly possible. They make it easy to get back in the game by accepting most insurances, including Medicare. They specialize in total joint replacement rehab and orthopedic conditioning. They'll help get your range of motion, flexibility, and your strength back. They even assist in dizziness and balance disorders. Get yourself back in the game at Benchmark Physical Therapy, 4654 Nashville Highway.
We return Mr. Peter Wilson on the board here tonight. Sharon Lusko, Peter on the camera work here this evening. Troy Cash and Noble Mays and Ricky Sweeney bringing you all the action here. 1 quarter remaining here in Cornersville. Woodard to throw. Once again, there is number 18. He had no place to go as Ayers and Bell had Adcox blanketed. Noble. Woodard just had to throw that one away.
T-Roy, number 61, Riley Durbin. He was applying pressure on Woodard. That's what made him roll out and had to get rid of it. And then coming along for the help, Jesse Lindemann also provided an opportunity up there to put pressure on Woodard that time. So he was rushed out of the pocket that time and flushed out quicker than he wanted to be was Woodard.
Defense holds now, upcoming 4th down for the Bulldogs. Once again, Mr. Matlock retreats to return. He'll settle in at about the 45 of Forrest as the punt upcoming here from the Bulldogs. Snap a little low. The rush gets there, but he does get it away. Spiraling kick that ends up being very good for the Bulldogs. It will be down at the 43-yard line, and that one had Danger Will Robinson written all over it.
It did. Look at Chris Davis. He was in the back there, T-Roy, and perhaps had he been 100%, he would have maybe gotten to that and might have stretched out and took that ball right off the foot of the punter.
So the Bulldogs are able to get it out of there, but the Rockets do get pretty good starting field position. They'll begin at their own 42-yard line, just underway here in the 4th quarter. 11:44 remaining as the Rockets lead it 20-6. Do I dare say this is one where you score here, you maybe break out the ice a little bit?
I'll give you that one, T-Roy, because remember, the Bulldogs only have that one big play to put them on the board.
Back to the running game. Nice inside cutback by Swift. Doesn't get a lot out of it, Noel, but he planted his foot at the 40, cut it back up inside, and that was a big league move by Swift. It only netted him a couple, but really nice footwork.
T-Roy, that's big-time football running the ball. He got to the edge, realized there was no place to go. He planted his foot, cut back against the grain, and he put his head down, and he got as much as you can get. That's how they teach it in the big league, my man. Once you realize that your speed won't get you around the corner, you plant your foot, and you get everything you can get. He went north and south after that.
The 60s look good, but it's the bread and butter of that play that really shows you what kind of back he's become. Right up the middle, Bell holding on to that football. Noble, I really liked it. Did you see as he got into the middle of the field, he had that thing wrapped up, and there was nobody going to punch that thing free.
I like what he was doing prior to that as well, T-Roy. He showed a great deal of patience. He didn't necessarily hit that hole hard because in practice they show you whenever you got a couple guards or somebody, they got a scheme in which they have to block. He waited on his blockers, and he lined everything up the way it needed to be lined up. That was a great job of running as well, T-Roy.
Very close to the first down. 3rd down and 1 now for the Rockets. They'll go 2 tight end here, and Hill will just say, you know what? I'll get behind the buttocks of my guard and tackle over on that right side and pick up the yardage, and that's where you challenge those offensive linemen. Say, look, I got one, you get it for me right here.
That's what I'm talking about, T-Roy. It has a nice feel to it, my man. As you said, it's just real subtle, my man. We're just going to line up, and we're just going to push you off the ball, and it's a simple case of watch on the film, T-Roy. Watch the white jerseys. How many of them go past the 40-yard line? Watch this.
Give nicely blocked again, and doing the rest on a good cutback is Swift.
Are you counting the 4 white jerseys past the 40-yard line, T-Roy? The 4 white jerseys. Number 4 jersey right there is none other than your running back Swift. But he got 3 white jerseys in front of him, T-Roy. Whenever you can see white jerseys 5 yards away from where the ball was snapped, that's production.
Close to 100 for Swift, 13 carries, 93 yards as he looks to go back-to-back century marks in the first 2 games of the season. That's the thing about this intimate setting. You could see there with the close shot, watching those guys come off the line of scrimmage.
Watch this time. See how many of them are past the 35-yard line, T-Roy?
2nd and 4, right up the middle. Gaping hole, and look at Bell. He is the Bell dozer, just bullying his way forward. Down to the 30.
T-Roy, here's what I'm going to tell you, my man. It's going to be hard for Coach Stevenson to pull these running backs out of the game. They both going to stay in the game, and they just hope that Coach call a play in which the ball comes to them, my man. They both eager to get the ball right now.
William Bell getting an increased workload here, 11 carries and 35 yards, but they have been between the tackles, tough running for Bell here tonight. 1st and 10 from the Cornersville 30. Back to the ground, and that time knifing into the backfield, Noble. Was that 2?
That's number 2 right there, Canty.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sir.
Qualls.
Qualls.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I apologize. Riley Qualls.
Qualls, excellent football player. Talked a lot about him in getting prepared for this group. Coach Stevenson in our chat yesterday talked about what a great football player he was. He shows it there as he gets in, makes the stop. Loss of a yard, now 2nd and 11.
He pushed his defender back and made the tackle.
Hill will roll, tucks and runs, gets back to the 30. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 now for the Rockets. That time pretty well defended by the Bulldogs.
It was, T-Roy, but I'm going to throw something extra in there. When they go back and look at the film this week, I would not have mind seeing the quarterback Ryan pitch that ball that time to Eli Bell. That's an old school option right there. Bell was out there maybe by himself one-on-one with the corner, and he might have could have pitched that. I wouldn't mind seeing that thrown into the mix next week.
Okay, Riverboat Gambler here. Go right, come back left. I'm waiting for a reverse or an inside scissor or something here because Cornersville's pursuit's been good. Swift to the corner. He will dive forward, and this will be an interesting decision here for the coaching staff. I think they would probably bring, and Swift has hurt that hand again. And you can see he had broken that hand early in the season, and he comes off holding that one, and he is in obvious pain down on the sideline. So 4th down now for the Rockets, 4th and 3.
We talked about how big Bo Schilling was, number 81 for the Bulldog. Swift did not try to avoid contact that time. He put his head down and went right over Bo Schilling that time, T-Roy.
Here's where having G Square really is a helper for the Rockets.
Yes, indeed. It's a significant difference in a 14-point game and a 17-point game with under 7 minutes left.
6:40 in counting. It'll set it down at the 30. Matlock to hold, a 40-yard attempt by G Square. Snap good, set good, kick, super toe is good. G Squared. He is money. That one good from 40. It would have been good from probably 50. He hammered that one. It's now a 17-point Rocket lead as we head to timeout here in Cornersville.
Hometown banking. It's having your decisions made by a bank right here in your town, not in another city, county, or even state. It's neighbors and friends who know your name and take the time to greet you when you walk in. It's modern technology such as online banking and mobile check deposits while still being able to talk to a living, breathing human. Come visit us at 4641 Nashville Highway or call us at 364-7888. First Commerce Bank, your first choice for hometown banking, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Moving forward with strong tradition. It's the town's motto, but it holds so true today. The town of Chapel Hill is balancing expanded growth with preserving the small town traditions that make it special. The town's administration and employees would like to take this time to reaffirm their commitment to the citizens of Chapel Hill and to wish the Rockets and Lady Rockets success in their upcoming seasons. From the home of the Lions Super Bowl of the South, the town of Chapel Hill says, "Go Rockets!"
No, I'm going to date myself. I'm not sure where.
Can you do that?
I can pretty easily because I'm old now.
I just thought you was a single individual. That I didn't know you could date yourself. That's all I was trying to figure out. I thought you was just one person, T-Roy.
Did you ever have, or do you remember, since I'm a lot older than you, where you had the super toe thing, where you kicked the football?
Yeah, I remember that on your toe, the little steel toe thing.
No, the little game that you played where you had the field goal kicker and you popped him on top of the head
indeed.
and he kicked the little plastic
straight.
football.
Yes, indeed.
And you could just hammer that thing.
I remember that, T-Roy. That game didn't bring me a lot of excitement because I couldn't figure out exactly what else it was supposed to do other than just kick the ball after you hit him upside the head like
I always liked to slam him on top of the head to see how far he could kick it. I felt like Grissom did that then. He just hammered that kickoff.
After this play, I want to tell you about what Grissom did.
Woodard on the catch. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Woodard on the keeper, and he will get close to a Cornersville first down. I believe has it.
This intimate setting that we have close to the field, G Square kicked the ball. As soon as his foot touched the ball, he turned around and looked in the other direction before the ball even went through the goalpost. And he knew that was a game winner because I seen 3 people sitting in front of me in the stands. They packed up and went home, T-Roy.
He absolutely hammered that one. Back to the ground. Bulldogs with it. And Noble, right now, if you're the Rockets, you're like, hey, run the football. We don't care. Take time off the clock.
And right now, if you're the Bulldogs, you're asking yourself, why are we just running the ball? So maybe they just decided that the passing game was not something they were going to be very effective. But you cannot expect Ben Franklin just to keep getting the ball or in a big run. So you're going to put the ball in there, Bulldogs.
I mean, he's certainly been impressive here tonight and take nothing away from the scrap of the Bulldogs for sure. I think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in their region. Of course, we saw Eagleville last week, and I think both of these teams will match up pretty well when they play each other later in the season. But, right now, Rockets, I think, have just kind of ground this one out. But the thing that concerns me right now, Noble, you've seen Birch go out with the injury last week. Swift was already banged up. You see him go down holding his hand. He seems to be okay on the sideline now. The injury bug is what you don't want to have hit for the Rockets.
I don't want to go down the whole list, T-Roy, but I've been watching Davis as well, and Davis has kind of been laboring a little bit as well, T-Roy.
Gibbs, center of the field, hanging on to the football as he went up the middle. I thought the Rockets were maybe going to be able to pull that thing away, but a good job of hanging on to it and picking up his first down is Qualls. Now hurry up for the Bulldogs as Tankersley gets off the field. Gibb once again up the middle as they go up tempo, and Noble having some success. They lose the football. Did Forrest get it? They're saying they did.
It's going to be a fight on the bottom. All right, they come Bulldogs out of the pack. T-Roy, if I'm not mistaken, that's number 50, John Jeter. He's a senior, came out with the ball.
Noble, the hurry up here for the last couple of plays has worked pretty well for the Bulldogs.
Well, they need to hurry up.
4 minutes and counting now as the Bulldogs in Rocket territory at the 45. Out of the gun, Woodard to throw. Pass is incomplete. That time it was on the money, but once again got into the helmet of the intended receiver. It'll fall incomplete.
It's hard to throw a better pass than that, T-Roy. I mean, you just got to you in a hurry. Clock is working against you. You put the ball out there, and I could be wrong in this statement. That may be the best pass Woodard has thrown all evening, T-Roy. He had a little time on his hand, a quick three-step drop, and he released it.
3rd down and 1 now. They got to make sure they get their first down here to move the sticks. Back to the ground they go. A lot of running room. Cutting it back inside, eluding a couple of tacklers as Quall stays on his feet before finally being brought down. And Noble, I just want to point out, you got your big defensive lineman, Reggie Pearson. That's where coaches get excited. He came down the field and chased that play down, stayed alive. Great job by Reggie.
Go ahead. He deserves kudos on that, T-Roy.
1st and 10. Woodard tucks, trying to get to the sideline. Plenty of pursuit. Swihart there as Woodard couldn't turn the corner. Jake Swihart gets out there, or excuse me, Luke Swihart, the 6', 170-pound junior.
Had a whole lot of help. Swift, Tankersley, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I seen one more person out there as well, T-Roy. I missed the number, though.
Cornersville under 3 minutes left now. 2nd down and 12. Bulldogs got to get some points on the board here. They go back to the big fella. He'll shake a couple of tacklers, but there are more white jerseys where the first couple came from as they are able to escort him out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and long now for Cornersville.
Apparently he stayed in bounds. T-Roy, clock still running.
For the Bulldogs, they're going to have to take one of their timeouts. Timeout, Cornersville. 2:39 remaining in a 17-point game. We'll be back.
Funeral home and cremation services had its beginning in 1939 when Thomas H. Lawrence established the business. Lawrence Funeral Home has always strived to provide compassionate, dignified, and professional service to every family it serves, regardless of their circumstances. Lawrence Funeral Home pledges to the families of Marshall and surrounding counties to continue providing excellence in funeral service. In your time of need, our family is there for your family. Lawrence Funeral Home and Cremation Service.
Stop in and visit Mac Equipment, your largest Exmark and Cub Cadet dealer in the state of Tennessee. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Chapel Hill at 109 North Horton Parkway, next to Southern Roots Hair Salon. Mac Equipment offers parts, sales, service, and rental. Their factory-certified technicians also service multiple brands of outdoor power equipment, making this a perfect stop for your future equipment repairs. Don't forget to visit our 2 other locations in Murfreesboro and Louisburg. That's Mac Equipment.
Big play for the Bulldogs. 3rd down and 11. Straight back to throw. Got some time from the backside now, taken down. The sack. And that was just stick-to-itiveness. Jesse Lindemann from the backside brings down Woodard. It's now 4th down.
Push up front also. Pearson, number 68, and number 71, Allen. Both of them also getting a push, and just secondary play allowed extra time for Lindemann, number 87, 6', 160-pound junior, to come flush Woodard out of the pocket and to the ground.
4th down and 18 now. Last gasp for the Bulldogs. Stepping up in the pocket across the middle, pass picked. Here comes Swift the other way. Gets a block. Swift at the 45 as Cale Adcox will take him down. But that was the final nail in the coffin. The Rockets will walk out of here with a record of 2-0. The final 147 just a formality now, as the Bulldogs have fought valiantly here tonight, but they will drop to 0-2.
Eyes got real big then, T-Roy. Eyes got real big. Swift seen the ball coming up, seen the errant pass, caught the ball. He got down here, and none other than Chris Davis provided a key block, and Swift got real excited. He thought, hey, maybe this is the one I take to the house.
He was not the only one. I saw that set up, and I thought pick six, but it was deep enough down the field they had a chance to get back over and help out. Give back on the ground they go. Of course, just going to try to milk the clock here and watch them wrap that football. Noble, that's trust. This coaching staff, they trust Bell between the tackles. He's not going to let go of the football. He's going to keep it in his possession.
And I think we got a timeout here, T-Roy. I think it's by the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs taking another timeout. 1:31 remaining. Next week, we will travel to Loretto, our first region contest of the season here on TC Sports 1, as we see a little lightning in the background here tonight.
Second time in the last 5 minutes.
We were fortunate the rain came through and allowed us an opportunity to get out here. We've made it through rain-free. Let's just hope we can get out of here. It may be a short post-game show tonight as we'll make sure we get our equipment back inside. And I want to apologize to Sharon. We have put her through a misery here tonight as the adjustment on the camera for the focus. We've got a nice little one that makes it nice and easy and comes back in and out. Well, something happened to it about midway through, so she's had to go manual on this. So she's probably, not that she wasn't coming back next week anyway, but she probably would have disowned us, I think, after this. So
I'm so sorry.
She gets hazard pay tonight.
She has earned everything that she has coming to her.
1:31 left as they go back up the middle. Bell says, you know what, I'll just keep carrying the football, and if you don't stop me, I'm going to keep churning forward.
T-Roy, I got to do it, my man. Gravy. Gravy put a lot of gravy on his player that time. Now, you call them pancake blocks, but once he put him to the ground, he rubbed his stomach and chest and all that on top of him and wouldn't get off top of him. He just smothered him in gravy that time.
He said, biscuit who?
Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about.
The youngster getting in here late, the sophomore, and they really expect big things from him. He's coming in and taking on a huge role in that offensive line. They haven't missed a beat. And, you know, they lost a lot on that offensive line, but they had a lot of experience coming back, and so far they've been equal to the task. Really good thus far in the first two games.
I've been real impressed with them, T-Roy. And this fourth quarter, they showed up the same way they came out in the first quarter, blowing them off the ball 5-10 yards downfield.
Rockets going to line up in the favorite formation of everyone. They're going to take a knee, count this thing down, and they're going to head back to Chapel Hill with a mark of 2-0. For the Bulldogs, a valiant fight for them here tonight, but still nothing to show in the win column after 2 games this season. For the Rockets, as we said, it'll be a trip to Loretto next week. And Noble, this is one you cannot take lightly. Loretto has always played the Rockets tough, especially at home. Porter coming off a 6-touchdown game last week, and they will be, of course, ready for the Rockets next week. Rockets, again, take care of business here tonight. 23-6 your final. Coach Eli Stevenson and the Rockets improved to 2-0 on the season. The Bulldogs of Coach Waddell drop to 0-2. Let's take a break. We'll have Ricky Sweeney with some stats, and we'll wrap this one up here from Cornersville.
Amigos Mexican Grill is the place you'll find all your authentic favorites, from burritos to enchiladas to sizzling fajitas, all served fast and fresh. Dine in, order online, or call in your order at 364-2222. Also, Amigos has catering services available for your next big occasion as well. Good food, good times at Amigos Mexican Grill, 216 South Horton Parkway. Visit their other locations in Louisburg and Spring Hill. Amigos, proud supporters of the Rockets.
Louisburg Animal Hospital serves the veterinary needs of Marshall County. They've grown to a 4-doctor practice specializing in small animal medicine. They offer advanced medicine, surgery, and nursing care in a personal and relaxed environment with the utmost compassion for their patients. For your pet's grooming and boarding needs, Maggie Roo Pet Retreat and Grooming Salon is located adjacent to the hospital. Call 931-359-5945 to schedule an appointment for your pet.
Workmanlike effort here tonight for the Rockets as they prevail 23-6 over county rival Cornersville here tonight. For the Rockets, once again, the ground game takes front and center, but I continue to be impressed with the poise and the ability of the freshman Ryan Hill directing this offense.
Man, I love working with you, T. Roy. This man went straight to the quarterback, Miss Sharon, and let me tell you what's impressive about it. I'm sitting over here waiting for T. Roy to tell me about some big plays and what was special about the game. In my opinion, the biggest play of the night was 3rd and 17. The game is 13-6, and you're not certain of how it's going to play out if they don't pick up a first down with 3rd and 17. And the coach, who we've all known to be a running first coach, puts the ball in the hands of the freshman quarterback and rolls him out and lets him throw the ball to the sideline. And the sideline is a boundary where you only have one wide receiver to throw the ball to, and he has to throw the ball inbounds at a perfect pass with all those Bulldog jerseys down there. And that changed the trajectory of the rest of the game, T. Roy.
I tell you, I continue to be impressed. I think we expect the Rockets to be more on that conservative side. I kind of like Coach Stevenson stepping out of the box a little bit because there's nothing wrong with being conservative. It wins you a lot of football games. People like me that sit back here and talk about things we want to see and those kind of things, I can get you in trouble. I want to go long, I can get you in trouble. He does a good job of maintaining his balance in the game and knowing what works for them. But I think he's evolving as a play caller by doing some of the things that we've seen here tonight. They're not as predictable. You know that they're going to pound it at you, but at the same time, putting the trust in a freshman at 3rd and 17 with the game still very much in the balance, that was big time.
And I tell you what, T. Roy, it's the second game of the season. I don't want you to forget that 3rd down and 17. The confidence that you give your freshman quarterback in a game that's only a 7-point game. Think about all the big games that may take place before the year is out, and you're going to need your quarterback to make a big-time play on 3rd down somewhere where the game actually might be tied or you may be behind.
I'm going to take a quick break. Noble and Ricky will return as I'm going to run the board here for just a minute. And we'll
Eye Care Clinic, Dr. Jeffrey Jordan and his staff offer a wide range of services, including comprehensive eye exams, advanced testing, and eye disease management. Fashion frames from top names like Guess and Kate Spade. They also stay on top of new eye care advances like Vuity and Upneat. And that unique Dr. J touch that always leaves you with a smile until your next visit. Make your appointment at 359-4373. Advanced Eye Care Clinic, 815 East Commerce.
Your one-stop shop to keep your vehicle running smooth is J Automotive. From routine maintenance like oil changes to brake repairs, tires and alignment, and exhaust work as well, J has got you covered. They work on gas and diesel engines. Call Vince or Matt Jackson at 931-364-5602 or stop by their location at 1791 Highway 99. Keep your vehicle in tip-top shape at J Automotive.
Yes, indeed. We are back. The Rockets, as T. Roy told you, they are 2-0. They're taking a knee. Actually, they're in prayer right now. Safe travel back home is certainly what we're hoping for everyone. T. Roy, as we get ready to bring the stats, Mr. Statistician Ricky Sweeney to the table here, there's a stat I want everybody to pay real close attention to, and it'll be credit to this Rockets defense. Talk to us about the stats here, Mr. Sweeney.
All right, thank you, Noble. The Rockets rushed it 49 times tonight for 225 yards. Passing attack tonight, 2 of 3, no interceptions for 46 yards. Total offense for the Rockets, 271. For the Cornersville Bulldogs tonight, 26 rushes for 167 yards. Passing 0 for 9 with 1 interception. Total offense, all of it on the ground for the Bulldogs tonight, 167. Just couldn't get that passing attack going. Rocket defense had a lot to do with that as well, I would think. Individually, Ryan Hill for the Rockets, 7 carries, 10 yards tonight, but that doesn't say how he ran the team again. Great job, Ryan Hill. Number 1, Chris Davis, 10 carries for 64 yards. He had a touchdown. Tayton Swift, 14 carries and even 100 yards tonight. Tayton Swift, 14 for 100. Liam Bell played a great game as well. 14 carries, 45 yards. A lot of those runs were from first down runs. Groenveld, Landon, 1 carry for 1 yard. Cohen Grissom, 1 carry for no yards. Eli Bell, 2 carries, 5 yards, and a 6-yard touchdown run from a man, Eli, tonight. Individually for the Cornersville Bulldogs, Ben Franklin, 10 carries, 129, and 85 of those came on 1 carry there after the Rocket so-called turnover in the ballgame. Blaine Woodward, 12 carries for 16 yards. Blake Estes, 1 for -15. Riley Qualls, thought he did a good job coming in late. Didn't see much of him till late. Number 2, Riley Qualls, 3 carries for 37 yards. I didn't use him enough, I don't think.
They certainly did not. Me and T. Roy didn't get to call his name very often at all.
Yeah, I like the way Riley ran the ball. 3 for 37 for Riley for the Bulldogs tonight. And a couple of pass receptions for the Rockets. Chris Davis caught 1 for 15 yards in the first down. And what a catch by Tayton Swift, 31-yarder, also for a first down.
It was 3rd down and 17
long,
then, Mr.
baby.
Sweeney.
It was long.
Freshman quarterback threw a 31-yard pass.
And how about your kicker again, Grissom tonight? 3 for 3 on his field goals, 30, 26, and 40 yards in the game tonight. Added to his total, he's got 5 in a row now. Rockets win at 23-6.
G squared. Mr. Sweeney, a couple things that stood out to me. I know they heard about the offense that the Rockets put up tonight. But I got to tell you, my man, I'm not going to put a lot of energy on that offense because we talked about them, highlighted them all night. The running backs, impressive. Swift, as you stated, 2 consecutive weeks, got a century mark. Last year, we was wondering if any of the running backs were going to have 100 yards because they would spread it so thin, spread the ball. But Swift showed up tonight, had 100 yards, 2nd week in a row. But you got your finger on the stat I want to talk about. Tell the folks at home what you're pointing at, Mr. Sweeney.
Once again, we're looking at the passing stats for the Bulldogs. I've got them 0 for 9 with 1 interception.
And here's why that impresses me. Before the first game in the Jamboree, I seen the secondary. And last week, first half, I seen the secondary. And I was wondering if there is somewhat of a liability in the secondary. Tonight, they answered some questions for me. Quarterback 0 for 9, combination of secondary coverage, but also a little pressure up front. But then you add that little 1 interception that time by Swift, 0 for 9 passing and 1 interception. You show up every night and play defense like that in the secondary and force a team just to run the ball with them big linemen they have and that push they get, my man, we'll be soon talking again like you and I used to talk on the side about that defense holding the offense up. But now the offense is showing up and pushing the ball off. It's special combination, sir.
Yeah, I saw a lot of team play out there tonight. I really did. And a lot of licks passed. And that 0 for 9, and there was some licks made. They were being, the Cornersville receivers were really cautious after a couple of sticks early. And then it just kept sticking during the whole game and ended up 0 for 9 with 1 interception.
Fellas, quickly, a couple of things here as we close. Cornersville back home here next week as they will have Huntland, and that's going to be a huge game for them. Huntland not picked toward the top of their region, so a game that you need to win. Huntland right now is leading Whitwell 21-14, our last score at halftime. A couple of other quick notes for you. Loretta, our opponent next week. Loretta right now is tied with Lawrence County, who absolutely pasted Summertown last week 50-7. They are 35-35 in the 4th quarter.
Loretta sounds pretty good.
Loretta may be a force to be reckoned with.
They do sound formidable, gentlemen.
Moore County is up on Bledsoe County. Moore County, the homecoming opponent in a couple of weeks. They're up on Bledsoe County 26-24. That one in the 4th quarter as well. Don't have a report as of yet on Cascade. Trying to just look through a few scores of interest to us, people that may be coming down the line. Wayne County beat Summertown 14-7 tonight. So Summertown not getting off to a good start.
No, they certainly not. Nothing you said this evening in that rundown of scores favors Summertown for the season.
Yes, but Loretta looks large looming next week.
I tell you what, we'll find out firsthand, won't we, gentlemen?
We will find out firsthand. I want to thank everyone. Thank Miss Sharon for filming for us, as she's agreed to fill in here for us for a couple of games, and certainly appreciate her coming and helping us out in this maiden adventure for us here. And we'll have Mr. Gabe Hall, Mr. Corey Cook be stepping in next week, and they will handle the duties. Mr. Peter Wilson working our board here tonight. Thanks to him. Once again, thanks to Noble and Ricky. They are the best that there are out there anywhere. I love my teammates here, and they are wonderful at what they do. Once again, thank you for tuning in here tonight. We are humbled by the response. Last week we were thinking, hey, we would be good with the new website. People still finding out about it if we got 100 viewers on. We had almost 600 during the game last week. So thank you for tuning in. We encourage you to get out and support the Rockets in person, but if you can't, you're home for Rocket Sports right here on TC Sports 1. Until next time, for Noble, Ricky, Sharon, and Peter, this is Troy Cash, and have yourselves a great night, everyone. God bless you.